Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Buggy like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma. It's called
All right, let's go.
Network.
All right, shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. We up in this thing representing the Coma. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's poppin'? Shout out and salute to the mighty Who Dat Nation. You know, it's been a while since I seen y'all, man, but listen, brother, sister, we up in this thing. Shout out to you. Good to see y'all, man. Who that to the mightiest, diehardest, intelligent, thorough people in the land, Who Dat Nation. What can I say, man? We in here representing the Coma. So big ups to you guys. I hope y'all had a fantastic week. Coming into the weekend, man, I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man. I just wanted to drop a surprise stream. Really, I was supposed to do one on Thursday, but I had a lot of stuff going on, man. So hope you guys week wasn't as busy as my damn week was, but the good thing is over. It's over, you know. So big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate everybody. OG Jerry is in this thing. Good to see you. B Jizzle, what's poppin', fam? Good to see you. Pelicans Nola, brother Tory Shepard Senior, the man himself, is in this thing. Shout out to Brandon. Brother Byron is in this thing. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see everybody. And this Black Major, I see you, fam. Appreciate you. Brother Clint, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. Good to see you. Dana, all my queens in the building. Good to see y'all. Shout out to y'all. Brother KC, Nola baby, shout out to you. Good to see you, fam. Appreciate y'all. All y'all, man. Much love. I see you, Quavadia. Shout out to you too, fam. Appreciate you as well, man. Much love. Brother JT, shout out to you, brother. Good to see you. Blessings to you as well, sir. Appreciate y'all. Now, in this one, man, we just going to talk about the Saints, man. We're going to spend a little time talking about the black and gold, man. And, you know, we got some stuff to talk about, man. We're getting ready to roll into another season of black and gold, man. How do y'all feel about that, man? Y'all feeling pretty good about it, man? Give me a thumbs up in the and the great Saint think tank. Y'all amped? Are y'all ready for some football, man? We getting close, man. We getting close. We're getting close to some football. So shout out to you guys as well for being in this thing. All right, so anyway, man, let's kind of jump off into it, man. I wanted to kind of touch on some topics and subjects. I really wanted to do a stream yesterday and touch on a few things, but a lot to touch on. And plus, I'm going to open up the phone lines and stuff for the family members too, man. We're going to do that. I'm going to pop open the phone lines for the family members after the stream so guys and gals can kind of jump in here and, you know, kind of quickly kind of jump in there and just let me know how they feel about what's going on with the black and gold. Y'all let me know in this thing how y'all feel about that as we move into it. All right, so all right, good. There you go. Big Head Slim says, man, I'm good. I'm feeling good, pretty good there. Q. Nola baby said, yeah, man, yes sir. YO, I see you, fam. All right, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Clint said I have zero expectations with DA in charge. Hey, listen, JT says not excited at all. Dana says getting ready, get ready, get ready, ready. Yes, indeed. Listen, all I got to say about the thing is people feel that way about Dennis Allen, and it's rightfully so. You know, I can't dispute that. You know, we haven't had a lot of success under Dennis Allen. He's not the best of motivators. He's not the best of a lot of stuff, you know, but you know, the thinking is that whatever the head coach lacks, perhaps the offensive staff can help. Now he kind of admitted to this in one of the pressers that he did early on. He made mention of the fact that accountability and attention to detail, all the stuff that we just was bullhorning for the last, I don't know how many years. A team that is not accountable will not succeed. It won't. And even that's why I was telling people last year, like, Q, there was one game away from, I was like, fam, they would have never got that game. Every time the Saints got close, they got on that big stage, they failed. They couldn't get close to that moment because it takes something extra when that moment, that what they call the moment of truth, when it presents itself, and everybody out there knows what the moment of truth is because it's a moment that you don't see often. You see when that window opens and that opportunity, because they don't present themselves all the time. So it's a different look. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about here. So when that moment of truth presents itself, you something inside you say, there it is. Let me go head on and jump head first or put both feet in. That's the opportunity. Because they don't come around every day. Big opportunities and certain opportunities, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. And every time that opportunity presented itself to the Saints last year, they some kind of way didn't measure up to the moment. So, like I was saying, now this time around, do they have that? Well, Dennis Allen is talking it, but does he really understand those concepts, to the point where, you're not only saying them, but you're also, you completing the puzzle, you're completing the double-sidedness. You talk it, then you walk it. You can't talk it and not walk it. So they're talking it now, but how are they going to walk it? So the walk it aspect is, okay, if they walk in it, that means that Clint Kubiak, Andrew Janoku, John Benton, all these are the new offensive coaches that the Saints brought on last year and basically turned the offense into something else. It's a huge gamble, but fortune favors the bold, baby. Fortune favors the bold. And the Saints it was a huge gamble in a year in which Dennis Allen has to win to keep his job. He knows this. There is no more excuses. So there is nobody else to fire except for him. So this is the moment of truth. This season is the moment of truth for the administration under Dennis Allen. This is the moment of truth. So that's why I'm kind of, I'm going into the season with that thought process. Now, he is, like I said, I got to give people credit when they do the right thing. I'm not going to just, beat you down if I see you doing, the right things to help the team build up. And he is talking the talk. I don't know if he's walking the walk. We haven't seen enough of it yet to see it, but he is definitely talking it. And we know that his offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, we know that all those other guys are serious, that they are attention detailed and centered people. We know this for a fact. So can that translate? Can that translate from the offensive room throughout the team? Now, it's not coming from the coach, even though the coach is megaphoning it, but really the attention to detail, the actions will be coming from the offense, because the offense has to move the ball. They have to score. They don't have to be pretty, but they got to win while they're learning. And listen, the schedule starting off is pretty rough. That schedule starting off is pretty rough, except for that week one. But then again, that week one is an epitome of a trap game, because if the Saints open up the season looking over the Carolina Panthers I think it's the Cowboys in week 2 or whoever it is, You might get caught up on a letdown. So the Saints, in my opinion, open up week 1 with a potential trap game. Now, I think they should beat Carolina. We think they should be able to handle business against Carolina. But listen, man, let me tell you something, bro. We got to handle up. We got to handle up. So it's early on. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right. Salute. Good to see y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being. What's up, GM Kev? My dog, GM Kev. Lewis. Much he says, Q, if they lose to Carolina week 1, he says, Loomis, they going to run, man. Law shit, they gonna run, man. Them guys. Let me tell you something, man. It's like, right? It's amazing, man. It's amazing. But I just think the Most High for you guys. I really do, because there's a lot of people that just let them people have their way, and I can understand how everything is tore up in this country. I really do. Because too much avocation is going on. At some point, somebody got to be checking somebody. I'm saying, at some point, somebody got to be checking somebody, because we know at many levels in this country that shit ain't happening. You see what I'm saying? Man, the people got to get up on it, man. We got to get, because a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening, man, if we was on our game. We got to, I've been trying to get people to stop the avocation and stop the avocation, stop advocating all your power away and take it and use it. That's what the good God gave it to you for. Don't advocate it to them dogs. Use it. Use it. That's what I've always been saying for some time. But shout out to y'all, man. Avis, I see you, fam. Appreciate you. Avis says, just know Kubiak has no chance of being the next head coach. I mean, hey, listen. Dennis Allen is a possibility in some worlds where Dennis Allen does it in some ultimate, if y'all believe in the Marvel universe, in some reality, Dennis Allen is like Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick is like Dennis Allen in some realities, if you believe that. But in our reality that we know all so well, that is most certainly not the case. That we definitely need Dennis Allen to become better. We really do. So he has been talking the talk. I got to give him that, because it's almost like he took a script from the Sports Coma, for real. All the stuff that we were saying, I was like, man, it will not work unless you have accountability and attention to detail. You got to have people that's serious about what they're doing there. And you can't let players screw up and not check them. You can't let Carr stare down the field and then claim that you study tape every week when I know you lying. You can't be studying tape, because we was studying the same damn tape. And every week it was him staring down one side of the field and the dude over there running. That's why they were frustrated. But I'm really happy that we won't have that this year, because Kubiak like, dude, we can't have that. We under the gun right now. Everybody got to step up. So I'm happy for that, for real. Accountability. All right, so anyway, shout out to you, Brother Wallace. I see you, fam. Appreciate you. It's Poppy 504. Good to see y'all, man. YO says Carolina Cowboys, Eagles. There you go. Yeah, we can't be looking over week. That's a trap game. That week 1 game's a big trap game, fam. I'm telling you. Dana says, DA, first post game interview will be, we have some things we need to clean up. I hope not. That's getting tired, isn't it? Talking, we got to clean it up. Enough. All right, now it's time for him to it's time to put up or shut up, man. We're here. We're in the season where that's supposed to happen. All right, so anyway, let's jump off. And this is the first one I want to cover, fam. I got several items I want to go over with you before I open up the phone lines for family members to kind of chime in. This one right here with Ramczyk, New Orleans Saints right tackle Ryan Ramczyk placed on reserve PUP list. Defensive Chase Young, among others, placed on the list. Is from New Orleans Saints website directly. Ryan Ramczyk was placed on the reserve physically unable to perform list Thursday. The move was not totally unexpected. The 3-time All-Pro from 2018 to 2020 and 2017 first-round draft pick had been slow to make progress from the offseason knee surgery and did not participate in OTAs or veteran minicamp. New Orleans drafted Oregon State right tackle Talisi Fuaga in the first round this year, but shifted Fuaga to left tackle and worked in Penning, the team's first-round pick from 2022, at right tackle. The move effectively ends Ramczyk's season. Ramczyk started 63 of 64 games in his first 4 seasons, but the toll dipped in 38 starts in 50 games the last 3 years as injuries begin to take a toll. And Dennis Allen said that neither neither he nor Ramczyk had seen the improvement that they'd hoped from this season. The team also placed tight end Jawan Johnson, defensive end Tanu Passanio, linebacker Nephi Sewell, and defensive end Chase Young on the physically unable to perform list. And they also they placed receiver Chris Olave on the non-football injury list and activated receiver Bub Means from the non-football injury list. So, few things right there. Now, of course, talking about Ram, man, this effective. And listen, fam, I've been saying this for I don't know how long I've been saying. I've been saying it for a while. I'm just gonna be honest, but I've been saying this for a while about Ram. Ram is a dude, man, that's a hard-working dude, man. But listen, bro, somebody had to tell him, man, listen, bro, go on, bro. Go ahead on and go get that surgery, man. You know, because they have some type of, they reported he had some type of minor surgery or something like to that effect. And I was saying to myself, bro, what are you doing? What's going on, man? Go, you know, if they giving you pain shots, they were giving them the good dope. They were shooting them up and it wasn't working. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. If they shooting you up with the stuff that they were shooting Derek Carr up with, they were shooting Derek Carr with dope all in his back, shooting him up with that Tony Romo stuff, you know, and that they got it twice stronger. They were shooting him up all over his back, shooting it in his right side, his left side, and his arm, and all this type of stuff to get Carr to go out there. Carr get out there, and his eyes are bucking and moving. He's seeing 3 damn wide receivers. Hey, Derek, throw to the one in the middle. He just throws it high. But that's why I don't lambaste him that hard, because I know what was going on when they were shooting Derek Carr with them painkillers. I doubt that dude knew what planet he was on in some of them games. You see his eyes bucking. That was wrong to do him like that. I really disrespect the Saints from doing that to him when you had healthy quarterbacks that could have came in and helped out while he was there. That was awful. They did that to that guy. But in terms of Ramczyk, the same stuff they was giving the Carr, they was giving the Ram, and it wasn't good enough, and Ram couldn't play on it. So it's time for Ramczyk, and if he had been more proactive in his approach and made this decision early in the year, he'd be well into his rehabilitation. Now, he's still under contract with the Saints, and ultimately he can, after surgery, learning how to walk and rehab, maybe there is football for Ramczyk after the surgery with the Saints. But the Saints already have the future of their offensive line with Fuaga and Trevor Penning. That's draft capital in those guys, and they're going to play those guys because they have to justify the selection of those linemen. So they're going to put them in there, and they're going to try to turn them into starting level, NFL starting level linemen. But Ramczyk gave us the best he could do. And when big guys start having knee issues, I often say this, when big guys start having knee issues, it's a problem, a big problem. So Ram, go see about yourself, man. They finally shut him down, and it is what it is. And this is also, I wanted to share this with y'all too. This came by way of Ian Rappaport, and he had some clarity on the Ryan Ramczyk being placed. This is what Ian said, right? Clarity on Saints offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk. Via the NFL rules, he is now out for the season officially after being placed on reserve PUP list. You're like, what? Why? A vested veteran placed on reserve PUP prior to the final roster reduction is out for the season. Players placed on reserve PUP at the final roster reduction will miss at least 4 games. So that was some good clarity right there. But then again, we already knew that Ryan Ramczyk was pretty much done for the year. We knew coming into it, and I was saying it the whole time, is that the man is not healthy, and he need to go and see about himself. He need to go ahead on and go handle his business and see about getting that knee together. And hell, you done played football. You were blessed to play football for a long time. And perhaps it's time to kind of take some of that money. Hopefully put it on the side and go to the casino with it. But hey, man, it's possible. He's still young enough where when he comes back, rehab, maybe not with the Saints, but perhaps. Who knows? But like I said, if he'd have done this early on, man, it could have been a lot different. It could have been a lot different. All right, so that's a little something on that. Let me kind of move on to, well, what's the next one I wanted to hear this? I wanted to go with this one here. This is from NFL Network. It's New Orleans Saints training camp preview. Got dates and additions and the biggest storylines for the Saints going into training camp, which is a pretty good thing here. As we get to talking about here, catching up with the black and gold, the training camp days, so July the 16th, we know the rookies already reported to camp, right? 3 days in there, and 23rd in several days. The veterans will start to report. And of course, they're reporting up to the University of California in Irvine, California. So notable roster changes. Fuaga, the offensive tackle, first round pick. You had Kool-Aid McKinstry, Spencer Rattler, Bub Means, Jalen Ford. Those are the 3 fifth-round picks outside of Kool-Aid, the second-round pick, and the 6th-round pick in Christian Boyd from Northern Iowa, and Josiah Israhim, the offensive lineman from Eastern Kentucky, in the 7th round. So a lot of people are excited about this draft class of the Saints. Fuaga, a lot of people like what he's going to bring. Kool-Aid McKinstry is obviously the future at the cornerback position. Spencer Rattler is a guy with a lot of potential and could possibly be the future QB of the black and gold. We got 2 guys there we took in consecutive years, and Jake Hayner and Spencer. Which one of those guys are going to be the guy after Carr? Anyway, Bub Means is a wide receiver. As you heard, he was activated from that inactive situation, so he'll be ready to contribute. We'd love to see what he can do. Jalen Ford's a very productive linebacker the Saints picked up. They had some depth there. Christian Boyd was a very solid addition at the defensive tackle position, a big guy that's good at run stuffing, as well as providing a push inside. So he could push, create some rush right there in the interior where quarterbacks don't like that stuff. And Israhim is a very raw offensive lineman there, who a lot of people think could possibly end up on the practice squad. All right, anyway, and these are some of the additions just to kind of remind the family members of it, as well as the departures. Nate Peterman arrives. Jameis departs. Equimius St. Brown arrives. Michael Thomas departs. You had Cedric Wilson. Jimmy Graham is out. Or Lucas Patrick, Chase Young, Willie Gay Jr., Kaliki Hudson, and Will Harris, the versatile defensive back, is there as well. And of course, like I said, Jimmy Graham, Cam Irvin, Andres Pete, Max Garcia, James Hurst, Malcolm Roach, Zach Bond, Lonnie Johnson Jr., Isaac Yiadom, and Marcus May all are gone. Jameis ended up in Cleveland. Michael Thomas is not, and Jimmy Graham on no team. I don't really know what Cam Irvin's up to. Andres Pete is a Raider. Max Garcia don't ever need to see a football field again. James Hurst retired. Malcolm Roach ended up going to Texas. I want to say the Texans. Zach Bond, I forgot where he ended up. Y'all remind me. Lonnie Johnson Jr., I think, ended up in Texas too. Isaac Yiadom to the 49ers. And Marcus May, good luck to him. He ended up in Miami. So there you go. Preseason schedule, the Saints week 1 at Arizona on August the 10th. That's a night game right there. That'll be the first one. Of course, Sports Coma will be in the building for that game, as we do all of our preseason matchups. We'll be in here doing the live stream, the play-by-play. You know how we do. And, of course, the 49ers are in week number 2. That's August the 18th. Titans complete the preseason August the 25th, 2 p.m. And then a schedule note. Saints played 3 straight home games from weeks 10 to week 13 with their bye week in week 12. New Orleans is tied for the easiest strength of schedule based on their opponent's 2023 win percentage. How you feel about that, Who Dats? The Saints play 3 primetime games this season, the same amount as last year. What do you need to know? Number 1, New Orleans is ready to spice things up. Okay. Of the top 5 offenses in pre-snap motion last year, the Dolphins, the Niners, the Rams, the Lions, and Chargers, 4 of them finished in the top 8 in scoring. Miami, San Fran, and Detroit finished number 1, 2, and 3 in yards. It's not the end-all, be-all. Of course, the Saints still ranked 9th in scoring and 14th in yards in 2023, but they took a stagnant approach. Running motion only 38.3% of the time, which is the 3rd lowest rate in the NFL according to Next Gen Stats. That likely won't be the case in 2024 as Dennis Allen hired a new offensive coordinator and former Niners passing game coordinator Clint Kubiak, who's capable of bringing more pizzazz to help Derek Carr and company. San Francisco used motion on 79.2% of the plays last year, which is the 2nd most in the NFL, baby. So how about that? So the Saints spicing it up. That's a good statistic. 49ers used it 79%, over 79% of the time. That's amazing. Saints 38.3% of the time. So it's supposed to be a major league jump in terms of the motion. Because sometimes you see the 49ers doing double motion to kind of confuse people. It's going to be real interesting to see that lively brand of football with the Saints. That's going to be really interesting. Number 2, Alvin Kamara left mandatory minicamp earlier. The decision his agent confirmed was contract related. He's been the versatile engine that helped the Saints go for so many years, but it was less efficient last year than we're used to seeing in both the running and passing game. Maybe the new offense will reinvigorate him. But how does he approach camp as he seeks a new deal? Does he attend but, quote, hold in, end quote, during no negotiation, or does he practice from the start? Backfield mate Jamal Williams needs to prove he still has gas in the tank after averaging 2.3 yards per carry in 2023. Also, regardless of Kamara's situation, New Orleans would benefit from getting Kendre Miller involved early and often in August after the third rounder logged just 51 touches as a rookie because he was hurt. We didn't really see Kendre Miller really take off until later on in the year. Jamal Williams was running into it just wasn't good for him. He was running hard. It just when he hit the holes, it was nothing there. The Saints did a piss poor job of opening up running lanes for the running backs last year. They really did. And early on, it was real bad. And I was like, why are they so bad at that? And Doug Marrone was the guy. They wouldn't change nothing up. They wouldn't spice it up. They wouldn't do anything different. They just kept doing the same old tired stuff. And then later on, it started to get a little better. But, you need to really kind of pick that stuff up faster to kind of help get them wins, because some of them wins we left on the table early on in the year definitely hurt us. But yes, the Alvin Kamara situation is something that a lot of people really need to kind of remember and kind of look at, because a lot of people saying, Q, we can move on. We don't need Alvin Kamara. I hear it all. And I just say to myself, man, listen, it ain't going. If you want to get to the playoffs and not only get into the playoffs but have a deep playoff run, you're gonna need Alvin Kamara. Okay, let's just cut the BS. You're gonna need Alvin Kamara. He's still your best. He's still your best player. Jamal Williams is a compliment back. He's not the guy that you're gonna get a ball to full time. This type of stuff. I mean, in small games, yes, but Jamal's a compliment guy. He compliments Alvin Kamara, which is the top guy. Now, Kendre Miller is good, but Kendre didn't show me enough yet. Like I said, he was hurt a lot last year. And before I talk about getting rid of Alvin Kamara, let me just see a little bit more sample size serving to Kendre Miller. I know he's good, but let's see him put it on the field and make it work. Let's see if he can stay healthy for a long time before we pack and ship Kamara. That's why I said Alvin Kamara is not going anywhere. Alvin Kamara, the Saints will sign Alvin Kamara and make sure he's in. Hopefully they get him into camp so things can work out, because you really don't want this type of situation to happen when it's long and drawn out and then he misses all of camp and then you end up caving in for the regular season and then he has to end up starting to learn the system. It's a whole new system. So we need him in there. And this is the thing too. The point about the system, having the system like this Clint Kubiak's system, when we just talked about the 49ers motioning 79, let me see if my memory any good, 79.2% of the time, which was tied for second in the NFL. The Saints was like 38 something versus what they were doing in terms of the motion aspect, which will be a big part of the Saints running attack. And if Alvin Kamara is there, he needs to pick up the system, because I think that he can have the same success as what we've seen a Christian McCaffrey have in the same system. You need Alvin Kamara in this system, and you will, and I keep saying, I think he'll have his best year as a pro in this system, especially if they're doing what they're supposed to do to open these running lanes up, like John Benton talked about how they want to do it. It's like, man, they're counting on these rookie guys. That's true. But the thing is, you also have to be able to put them guys in a position to be successful. And we know that both Fuaga and Penning, they're big, they're physical, and they're fast. They're athletic. They ain't big, lumbering, slow guys like a James Hurst. These big guys, they have attitude. Both of them got a nasty disposition. They both had similar scouting reports insofar as they're talking about the mentality. Because if you remember when Penning came out, he had that temperament. He was getting in fights with guys and that type of stuff. Matter of fact, it was happening again in some of these off-season camps where he was getting a little pushy. But you want that. You want that type of attitude, because remember last year what kind of mentality the Saints offensive line had was milquetoast. We can't have that old milquetoast stuff, man. You know, we don't need that. We need guys that are physical, fast, and they can get to where they need to be. Concerning the offensive line. Now, John Benton talks about that. They asked him, hey, man, do you got the guys? And he told him, he said, yes, oh, yeah, we got the guys. We got the guys. Now, it's a huge gamble, I give you that, because the Saints have, out of the 5 offensive linemen, they have 3 guys that don't have a lot of experience. Well, you got a rookie in Fuaga at left tackle. You got Penning, who played some games, but, for the left tackle position. And then you have Nick Seldaveri, who didn't play at all last year. And then you have a lot of shaky veterans that's behind the Saints. Now, you got some guys, if they can stay healthy, they can, like Shane Lemieux, who's a guy, dude could play some ball, but he just keep getting hurt. Can he shake that injury monster and be able to improve? I don't know. But John Benton, offensive line coach, is saying, hey, man, we can make this work. And the Saints invested a lot of capital, draft capital, in Fuaga and in Penning. Those are the bookends. And then Nick Seldaveri, that'd be pretty cool too. Then you have 5 drafted players the Saints have. You have let's see. You got 3 first-round draft picks. You have Cesar Ruiz, you got Fuaga, Penning, and then you have a second-round pick in McCoy, and then you have, what was Seldaveri, a 4th-round selection? I'm going to say he was 4th round. So all of them were drafted, all 5 offensive linemen, if they could stay healthy, and are day 1 starters. Like if they get to week 1 and they're all starters, that'll be 5 drafted offensive linemen the Saints have that'll be opening up the season. That's actually not bad at all if they can make that work. That's actually pretty good. And money-wise, that would actually be pretty feasible, because most of the time some people would, you go out and get an expensive veteran to come in and kind of handle things, but the Saints have gone in a different stratosphere because of the money concerns. So, thank you, Mickey Loomis. But anyway, let's move on, man. The Saints are number 3. The Saints are shuffling the deck to find their 5. They just got you talking about this. The best 5 offensive linemen. Former first-round pick Trevor Penning had been given it a go at right tackle. New Orleans benched him from the left tackle spot last season. Meanwhile, the 2024 first rounder Fuaga will try the inverse, working at the left tackle after primarily manning the right side at Oregon State. The team's margin for error at both tackle spots is made more precarious by Ryan Ramczyk's missing of the season with the knee issues, casting doubt on his future. Now, center Eric McCoy and guard Cesar Ruiz must lead the way in his potential absence. No doubt about it. He's going to be absent, and absolutely. McCoy is the guy that has to step up. He's the center, and usually a lot of times the centers, in some of these lines are the leaders of the offensive line. And Cesar Ruiz has to improve too. I didn't like how he played last year. I didn't really like how Eric McCoy played for the majority of the year. I often joke about McCoy spending a lot of time on the ground like he's a landscaper. I never seen Eric McCoy on that ground so much last year. I don't know if he was hurt or I don't know what was going on, but they have to definitely step up. That's the most important aspect of the success for the Saints going into the season, is that offensive line. The Saints offensive line has to step up for them to have any success, because if the offensive line steps up, the running attack gets going, it takes pressure off a car, and everything else flows, because we're going to have to use the running attack sponsored by the offensive line, right, to be able to get things going so we can get the play action in there. Then we get Carr in a timing situation where he doesn't sit there and hold the ball, where he is just a time situation where he gets the ball out to the wide receivers, or if he got a screen situation that he got to set up or something. But hopefully the Saints will utilize the running back room, because we got a lot of people. We ain't even talked about Taysom. We know Taysom Hill would be a part of that running attack too. Anyway, number 4, New Orleans' recent run of defensive dominance is commendable, but is it sustainable? The Saints have now produced at top 10 scoring defense in 4 consecutive seasons, a period of success many associated with aging veterans like defensive end Cam Jordan, linebacker Demario Davis, who both will be 35 when training camp begins. Jordan missed the Pro Bowl in 2023 for the first time since 2016. He had his fewest sacks, which was 2 since his rookie season. Was it slippage or more of his injured ankle? Davis, meanwhile, made his 2nd consecutive Pro Bowl, though he's the older of the two, and turns 36 in January. There are questions behind both of them. Can the 21 first-round pick Peyton Turner finally arrive in his 4th NFL training camp? How far along will Chase Young be in his recovery from neck surgery? And how does this playing time shake out between Pete Werner and Willie Gay Jr.? So the defense is like, a lot of people not really concerned about the Saints defense, are they? A lot of people not really concerned about the Saints defense. And that's simple. The reason why a lot of people are not concerned about the Saints defensively speaking is because the defense has, over the recent years, has actually been pretty more than decent. They've actually showed some really good, like the secondary as well. But we've struggled like in terms of getting the sacks and all that kind of stuff. And at times last year, we seen it was a breakdown of the Saints not being able to stop the run like we want them to. So, you know, and it's always like you come into this year. We know Cam Jordan dealt with the ankle issue. He spent a lot of the offseason rehabbing from that issue. They said he's supposed to be good for camp. But Cam lost a lot of weight because he felt like that would help him, be lighter so he can be able to attack and do what he needs to do. So he took that serious. Demario Davis is already ready to play football. But like it's saying, these guys, we need the young guys to step up. Carl Granderson, who had 8.5 sacks last year, Carl Granderson said later on, not too long ago, several weeks ago, about a month or so ago. So he talked about him running out of gas at the end of the season and that he needed to work on that. I was like, oh, wow, okay, I see that. But Carl Granderson wasn't getting home like he was early on. And then later as the season got, because it's a long season, he kind of lost gas right there. So he started really working on improving his strength and his longevity, getting his wind up so he could be able to do that and still be effective. Another method, too, to help Carl Granderson out with that, too, is have some of these other defensive linemen that act in the rotation to keep guys like Carl Granderson and Chase Young fresh. Having a good, consistent, and thorough pass rush reserve situation will help, because the Saints when Passing you got here, he was a part of it. But the Saints have, 5 guys? They got 5 guys, including Cam Jordan, when Chase Young finally makes it back. So, I mean, we don't know how far along we'll start getting all that once camp happens about what's going on with Chase Young, how good is his neck surgery, how everything is running, if the Saints are going to take his situation with kid gloves, because they don't really have to rush Chase Young into something if they feel like they don't need to, because they have so much depth right there. Peyton Turner has to step up, man. Peyton Turner has to prove that he's better than, my goodness, Marcus Davenport, because people will comparing him to him. That's why they drafted him. The guy reminds us of Marcus Davenport. I was like, man, don't do that. Don't draft people that ain't shit, I'm sorry. Don't do it. But the reality is, we don't have to rush Chase Young, but we're gonna have to wait and see how that looks. But yeah, because neck surgery is serious. When they said that, I was like, damn, that neck, that's tied to the spine, everything. So we got to see. But Peyton Turner and Isaiah Foskey, those guys are gonna have to rev up and do something. We know Cam Jordan, these guys are old in the two, not saying that, but we got some old productive veterans. You could throw Tyrann Mathieu in there. We got old productive veterans that still can give you something. So we should be fortunate for that. But Chase Young, we don't know exactly how that's going to work, man, and see where he is in his recovery. The last report they gave us is that he was doing good. So he was on time with his neck situation. Now, the Pete Werner and Willie Gay shakeout thing is that's a battle for the spot next to Demario Davis. The loser gets the 3rd spot, which still solidifies your linebacker core, because if injuries happen, you can have Pete Werner or whatever step in there. So it does, with Willie Gay arriving, it does help out the depth situation. But Willie Gay he didn't come to New Orleans to be a 3rd linebacker. He came here on a 1-year prove-it deal to see if he can take that job. And then Pete Werner is on the final year of his contract. So this is going to be this to me, a lot of people are looking at Spencer and looking at Jake Haener, the QB battle in camp. Man, the battle to me that I'm going to be watching will be that Pete Werner and Willie Gay battle for that starting job next to Demario Davis. That's the one I'm looking forward to watching. I'm going to be honest with you on it. That one to me, because like I've said before, Willie Gay he fixes a lot of stuff for the Saints, because Pete Werner, as good as intelligent as he is, he's not athletic. He's not an athletic guy like that. And and Demario's lateral quickness is disappearing. He still has the intelligence, but you need a guy next to Demario Davis that fire off the line and go and get him. You need a guy that can cover tight ends. And that's what I'm saying about Willie Gay's signing. A lot of people don't look at it, but when Willie Gay's out there, I mean, he has the speed. He can blitz and go and get the quarterback. He can, or in run support if you need him to. He can drop into coverage and cover the tight end. And that's something that tore the Saints up a lot of times, where our linebackers wasn't fast enough to cover some of these tight ends, and they got the best of you. Remember the Detroit game where that LaCondra, whatever his name is, that dude was tearing the Saints up. The guy from Minnesota was tearing the Saints up. And I thought he got concussed, got knocked on his ass, and I was like, man, that dude got to be concussed. He landed on his head. That dude got up, staggered off the field, and then a play or two later, they sent him back out. I was like, where they do that at? I was like, what they do? Where's the NFL? That dude obviously was concussed. He fell on his damn head, and then he goes out there with all that and still tear the Saints up. So, I mean, we've had issues covering these tight ends, and Willie Gay helps there. He gives you an athletic linebacker that can cover tight ends and do whatever. Plus, he has championship experience, so that's a big plus. So, I'm looking forward to that. Number 5, bearing a trade, the Saints might go through camp with a problem at cornerback any coach would welcome, possessing more starting talent than the starting spots available. Early this offseason, there were trade rumors rumbling around Marshawn Lattimore, the senior member of the position group at 28. However, both general manager Mickey Loomis, Slick Mickey, and head coach Dennis Allen dispelled such a notion, and the 4-time Pro Bowler attended mandatory minicamp, joining him at top New Orleans cornerback pool Paulson Adebo on the contract year, who took a leap in year 3 with 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and an 80.5 PPF coverage grade. Although it'd be helpful if Alontae Taylor progresses similarly going into his 3rd season. He will. He's a trustworthy nickel corner regardless. And that's always what people talk about a line. Oh, Alontae Taylor struggled, man. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, dude, that was his sophomore year. Paulson Adebo did the same damn thing. It's weird. It's like it's weird. Very weird. Like, dude, we just seen it with Adebo. He did the same thing in his 2nd year, and people was like, man, I don't know about Paulson Adebo. He might have to get somebody else. I'm like, dude, it's his sophomore year. They struggle in the 2nd year. The majority of them struggle. Well, we might have to find somebody else. Pump your damn brakes, Sherlock. We let's see how he does in his 3rd year. Most players struggle in the 2nd year. It's a real thing. Dude, some guy was like, oh, you have to find Fozzie Abear. That's who was saying a lot of, Alontae Taylor, what's wrong with that? Shut up. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. He was in his sophomore year. I was like, damn, man. I can understand for like 4 or 5 years you might have a memory loss. Well, shit was the year before last. I was like, come on, man. Some of them struggle. See how they look in year 3. That's what you do. All right, number 41 overall pick Kool-Aid McKinstry could be pressed into considerable action if anything changes on the Lattimore front or if injuries come into play. As it stands, he doesn't necessarily need to sink or swim immediately. Kool-Aid McKinstry, you can bring him along easy. We know he has some injury concerns. A lot of that they're saying that he's all right with. But like I said, we probably not going to see the secondary again after next year. But the reality is, with what the Saints were able to do, to have Lattimore, Paulson, because Lattimore has an expensive deal the Saints going to have to deal with. Paulson and Debo's playing on the contract year. So somewhere along the line, somewhere in the season, they're going to probably offer him a deal. Alante Taylor is still on his rookie deal, so he's financially viable. And then you have Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's a second-round pick. He's a future pick. So the Saints are deep. And remember, it's very rarely that you see the Saints defensive backs go through a full season without somebody getting banged up. Somebody going to get banged up. I wish they wouldn't, but it's just the reality of the game. It's physical. Sometimes guys get banged up. It's good having a Kool-Aid McKinstry if you have an injury to Debo, or if you have an injury to Lattimore. You got Kool-Aid as a fourth cornerback there. That's great. You know, our secondary is going to be solid, even more solid than they usually are. All right. So that's the breakdown there on camp. It's a pretty good little breakdown, too, to kind of get us geared up for the preview for the training camp situation, man. So that was pretty good. Shout out to NFL.com on that one. All right. Let me see what else I won't go here. The next one here. This is one somebody sent me. I'm going to cover as well. Shout out to my brother Kyle T. Mosley. He wrote this one here. Brandon Aiyuk to the Saints, exploring the fit and cap implications. For many reasons, the Saints are trading for 49ers wide receiver would make plenty of sense. However, there are future roadblocks. All right, let's get into the article. He says the NFL trade rumor mill is buzzing with the news that the 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk is requesting a trade after a frustrating contract negotiation. Aiyuk's cryptic social media post in June while speaking to the Commanders rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels has sparked speculation about where the Niners receiver will land, with the New Orleans Saints as a probable destination. Now, Brandon's current situation with the Niners is Mike Garafolo reported that he reported Aiyuk's trade request, which stemmed from the 49ers' reluctance to negotiate a new contract in 2024, despite his impressive performance, including an all-pro second-team selection in 2023. With 1,364 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, the Niners have yet to budge. The stalemate has led Aiyuk to seek opportunities elsewhere. Elbert Breer wrote in his column, but for now, I'd say Debo Samuel trade will be more likely than an Aiyuk trade. They got problems with both wide receivers. That's amazing. Could New Orleans engage in a trade for Aiyuk? Let's explore why and how. Let's do that. Why the Saints could be interested. New Orleans Saints need another dynamic wide receiver to bolster the offense alongside of Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Aiyuk's proven ability to perform, demonstrated by his consistent production over the past season, makes him an attractive target. His 2023 season stats, 78 catches for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, showcasing his potential to be a game changer for the black and gold. Late in the season, A.T. Perry emerged as a target for Derek Carr. The Wake Forest product caught 12 catches, 246 yards, and 4 scores for a 20.5 yard per catch average on 18 targets. Now, Aiyuk's addition could significantly elevate the Saints' offensive game. Clint Kubiak served as the 49ers pass game coordinator last season. Thus, he's familiar with his abilities as a wide receiver and also as his second-team All-Pro. Now, Aiyuk could integrate in the Saints' offense for 5 reasons. Versatility and playmaking ability. He's known for his versatility and ability to make big plays. His ability to stretch the field would add a dynamic element to the Saints' passing game. The run after catch skills. His proficiency in game yards after the catch will be significant assets. His complementary piece. He would complement the Saints' existing receiver corps, potentially opening up opportunities for other receivers and tight ends. Physicality and blocking. Kubiak emphasized during the minicamp that he likes his receivers to be physical and block. Now, this guy's willingness to engage his blocking and physical style fits well with his philosophy, contributing to the overall effectiveness of the running game and play action passes. And of course, finally, familiarity with the similar system playing under Kubiak and the Niners will have similarities with the Saints' current offensive scheme. So he would come in and hit the ground running. He's a fantastic wide receiver, man. Now, let's talk about some of the things that can ultimately lead to why it won't work. Let's talk money, baby. All right, financial and strategic implications. According to overthecap.com, New Orleans has just over $12 million in cap space ahead of the training camp. Let me see, is that the case? Yep, there it is. Surely is. Brother Kyle is on his stuff. All right. He's absolutely right on that. I had it pulled up. All right, so anyway, Let's see. He says reports say wideout Bub Means was placed on non-football injury list. Well, he's back. When the rookies reported to camp down the receiver, are the Saints interested in shopping for another one, especially if the price tag associated with Brandon Aiyuk? Another believed that he would command a significant contract extension, estimated in the $30 million range, 30 per year. With more pressing contracts looming, Elvin Kamara, it would be challenging for General Slick Mickey. Oh, I know. I can do anything. No, you can't, Mickey. To accommodate another large contract extension, option years are coming for several players. Could New Orleans handle the financial burden? However, it is not out of question for New Orleans front office to make surprising deals. They've surprised us before. Could the Saints find a reasonable trade scenario for him? Saints could offer multiple draft picks or a combination of players to meet the 49ers' needs. Still, who are those players the team will be willing to sacrifice? Given the Saints' salary cap situation, they must ensure that they can absorb Aiyuk's contract demands while balancing the roster. While there's nothing is certain, the potential trade of Brandon Aiyuk to the Saints is an alluring possibility. The move could give the Saints offensive boost they need while allowing the 49ers to manage their finances and focus on other key areas. As the situation develops, it will be intriguing to see how both the teams can navigate these potential trade waters, potentially leading to a win-win situation. Shout out to brother Kyle T. Mosley with this one, man. Excellent article, brother. And this is the thing about the 49er wide receivers, because there were reports linking both of them to the Saints at different points of time. Yes, OG. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I agree, OG. I mean, I don't see it because of the Saints salary cap situation. They got two impressive, very impending matters that they have to see to. Alvin Kamara is priority number one. Number one, you have to have AK-41 in for training camp. You got to give him his 2-year deal, and let's move it. That's number one. That's pressing matter number one. Matter number two, later on in the year, you want to see if you can get Paulson Adebo on an agreement. You definitely want to see if you can work something or do what you got to do to kind of get Paulson Adebo on an agreement. You don't want that to be something that happens toward the back end. And customarily and traditionally, you see the Saints kind of do that thing between week one and middle of the season, when you'll see them start to kind of move and shake and start doing stuff like that. So number one is Alvin Kamara. Number two is, to me, Paulson Adebo. And then everything else after that. Now, if the Saints believe, I guess it would have to be kind of, some imagination going on, but it spits in the face of what Mickey Loomis was saying. Well, he was forced to say it because of the cap ramifications that he guided the Saints to. It's almost like that thing people talk about, man, where, Q, man, everything is just so high nowadays. Yeah, that's true, brother. That's true. Well, you also know, man, that inflation, that's the reason. That's the kicker. That inflation is really what's doing it to people, that inflation. And they're talking about it like it's not somebody pulling the strings or punching it in like a monster. That is the inflation is walking hand in hand with the Bigfoot monster and the creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh, what's the dude? What's the what was it? The creature, what was it? From the lake. They said it's just folklore. Fairy tale talk. Inflation is just something that just happens. Nah, man, there's somebody's, a group of them, a committee of them that's deciding that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's like Mickey Loomis. When you look at why the Saints are in the situation that they are in with the money, it's because of Mickey Loomis. He's the key person. He controls the purse strings of the team. Even though Gail says, hey, you can have this, Mickey. You can do whatever you want. And Mickey, oh, okay, good. Now, listen, I'll fix it. I'll raise the goddamn boat. I'll make sure everything's good. And this is where we are. So Mickey has to play. He has to walk all that back. He can't be doing all these crazy maneuvers he did under Sean Payton, because you're under a situation where you're under a wait and see approach to see how what goes on and which direction the Saints, what's going to happen here. That's why you see certain players get 1 year deals, 1 year prove-it deals. The Saints are kind of filling this thing out. And finally, we're starting to see some responsibility from the Saints front office and how they deal with money matters, because he's not going and saying, okay, we gotta go ahead and do this and that and the third. You don't know what's going to happen with Dennis Allen. You don't know what's going to happen with Derek Carr. You know, in terms of, what happens with this year. So this year is a tell-all year for everything, because Mickey will be validated based on what happens with this. Did he do what he was supposed to do? Did he make the right decision at the quarterback decision? Did he make the right decision with Dennis Allen, spending all this time and effort trying to develop Dennis Allen into a professional head coach? You see, did he make the right decision? See, getting a little nervous right now, because all this is going to come to a head this year. But these decisions from a money standpoint have to be walked back, and they have to take a cautious approach over the next 2 seasons, because really in the 3rd season, the Saints going to see massive cap relief, because a lot of the players, a lot of those aging veterans that we talked about in the previous articles, like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, those guys have nice contracts. And in 3 years, they're going to be gone. Derek Carr, his big stupid contract, a lot of that money will fall off. They still have a chunk of it on there, but in 3 years, you're going to see a lot of that money. And in the 4th year, it's going to be it's going to be a different team. But let me just say this, because in the next, just thinking about it, like we had a precipice, like we had a jump point in Saints in Saint time frame. And what I mean by that is, in 2 years and 3 years, you're going to see Demario Davis go. You're going to see Cam Jordan go. In 2-3 years, you're going to see Elvin Kamara gone. You're going to see a lot of heavy hitters that have been representing the Saints for years. They're going to be gone. Who's going to replace these guys? We talking about Demario Davis. The Saints have had Demario Davis here for years, and they have not found a guy that you can say that is Demario Davis's replacement. We just picked up on Tyrann Mathieu a couple of years, and there is no other safety that's playing at Tyrann's level. So is it Jordan? Is it Howden? Cam Jordan. How about Cam Jordan? You can't say Carl Granderson's undrafted, but he has the biggest of the future because you see what he's doing. But who's the other guy? They spent high and dry. They spent on Davenport. That dude is a bust. Peyton Turner headed in the Davenport direction. Hopefully he steps up. But who are the replacements for Cam Jordan in 2 years? You see what I'm saying? So the Saints have these hallmark players that when they leave, who's going to pick up the slack? So the Saints will have to do one or two things. They're going to have to draft better. They're going to have to trade for somebody, which they're probably not going to do, or they're going to have to open up the books and sign somebody. We know over the next couple of years, they're not going to be signing any big name players. So whatever work they're going to do, they're going to be going through the draft and doing cheap free agent signings. Just giving that to you. So you will have to develop Kendre Miller. You will have to develop A.T. Perry. You have to develop all these guys and get them up there. Then from a defensive standpoint, we still don't know what a couple of these guys are. We got Jalen Ford here from the Texans, but what about these other linebackers? Do we know what they're going to do? DeMarco Jackson, who the hell is he? What is he going to do? You see what I'm saying? So at some point, fam, we got to do something. They got to do something. And we at that precipice where we're going to start seeing over the next 2 to 3 years, a lot of these guys fall off the team. It's going to be interesting. All right. Anyway, man, let's keep it pushing, man. Let me see if I can get some questions from the fam. If y'all got any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat, man. What time is it? We got about 9 o'clock. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I ain't going to open up alone, but I want to see if guys, for family members to pop in, give you analysis and think about that, man. All right, Tuck. What's up, Tuck? Shout out to you. Says, question, how quickly can the players implement Kubiak's system? It's a whole new deal. That's a great question. I don't have the answer to that, Tuck. I'll be honest with you, because last year when the Saints they took Pete Carmichael and brung Derek Carr in, and people was like, man, Carr has had all his experience with all these offensive systems, you would think that at some point that all of it would mesh and like, oh, I've seen this before. It would just be a hang up on verbiage, not insofar as what they need to do, but everybody's calling it something different. So at some point he would kind of say this was that and the third and that third. That didn't happen. Not early on. Then he got hurt and then it dragged on. And then toward the back end of the year, you've seen improvement, not just from Derek Carr, but from the whole Saints offense period. Because when they started running the ball, that's one thing they talk about. When they talk about the Saints improve, well, Cuba, last 4 games of the season, they went off. I was like, well, Derek Carr, he was doing it. I'm like, bro, pump your brakes. Derek Carr played well, but so did the entire Saints offense. The offensive line was blocking better. They were doing better. And he benefited by that. He was a part of, the goodness. They always pinpoint the quarterback. He played a lot. But no, it was all of them. All of them played better. The offensive line did better toward the back end of the season. It all started meshing and clicking. Now, the key to it this year is you can't have that go on. What happened last year, like how slow that they took. Man, them people took a long ass time to pick up what was supposed to be a QB friendly system. And Derek Carr, he said this, like he's been, when you got through all the word salad, he was basically saying that, hey man, I like the fact that we're all learning, as opposed to last year. I was the one that had to learn. Everybody else knew it, which would beg the question, who the hell he was fussing at? If everybody else knew it, you did, they know it, you don't. But this time, everybody's new to it. Everybody. So Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, all of those guys, offensive linemen, everybody, they got to learn that new offense. And the defense, has to learn how to defend it, which to me, that'll be interesting, because when the Saints do play the 49ers, like I'm gonna be looking at that preseason game, like, man, how close, trying to see the mirror. They're going to show you a little bit. You won't see a lot, but I want to see how the Saints deal, with that, how what they're doing. Because I've watched them play before, but how close and how much of what Kubiak's going to do is going to mirror exactly what the 49ers. Is he going to be a slight deviation? You see what I'm saying? Because we're anticipating when you say we're going to add that system that he'll take the majority of that and be like, yeah, we're going to look like the 49ers. He might not be, wanting to take it that far. He might have a slight variation on how he wants to do it. You see what I'm saying? It's a signature system. Like he wants to put his stamp on it. So, we'll just have to see. But I don't know, Tuck. That's a great question, because it's all really dependent on, our rookie guy, our inexperienced offensive lineman getting it. We know McCoy and Cesar Ruiz, they're going to have to get it. But early on in camp, they were speaking about how good it was and how fast they're getting out of the huddle, And I remember, last year we seen a similar thing when guys was doing this, and then they had that one series in the preseason when they looked like gangbusters, and then we got it. It wasn't the case last year. So that's a big question. Like, how fast do they pick this up? And also, another thing, they can't struggle last year. Like I said, they have a tough record. They starting off this season, They're starting off the season with a tough schedule. They got Carolina, which is a trap game. You got Cowboys behind them. You got all these other teams. You can't start off in the hole. So whatever you going to do, you better learn it. And that's the pressure on the season. Like in training camp, is they know what that schedule looks like. And it's not totally impossible and probable for the Saints to beat the Cowboys or beat the Chiefs, beat some of these teams early on before they get into mid-season form. You see what I'm saying? So this could be a gift and a curse. If the Saints can be on their game, they can beat some of these teams before they get to mid-season form while they're still learning, because that first month of games, the Saints will have to win while they learn. They might not look perfect doing it, but the win is a win. You got to win, because if the Saints open up the season a 1-4 or something like that, that's not going to look good, fam. That is not going to look good and feel good in terms of your morale. You don't want to be in a hole. Plus people, that pressure, boy, Could you imagine what the pressure would be like if they went 1-4 or 1 whatever it is early on within those first 6 games, 5 or 6 games, and they were like 1 win and a bunch of losses? Could you imagine the pressure on Dennis Allen in a year in which he has to win? It's still like a lot of football left. But I'm telling you, it's a different feel. Like last year when you seen how the team was losing, boy, you think this is a small town, the small market team. The pressure here is just like it's a New York or a Los Angeles or any other market that's serious about their football. It's a very crushing pressure that guys feel. Derek Carr was feeling it last year. Y'all seen how he was looking? He was feeling the pressure. Boy, was he. And then Mickey Loomis. Look what pressure did with Mickey Loomis. He was up in there chewing that gum like a billy goat, talking crazy. His eyes was flushed. I was like, man, that's what pressure do to you. Pressure bust the hell out of some pipes. All right, Rock, shout out to you. Say it's almost good go time, my brother. Keep on. Shout out to you, Rock. Good to see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. All right. What's up, Jamal? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you, man. All right. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, man. For real, man. Vibing with the Johnsons. How you doing, sir? Says Q seeing Alvin Kamara posted him working out and pictures of him. I seen that, bro. Instagram stories feel like the team hasn't reached out. I know it's go time, bro. But like I was saying, man, the Saints, they people say, Q, we gotta let Alvin Kamara go, da. Fam, no, don't do that. You need AK-41, especially with this system. That's what I'm saying. Because the Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, they've always been compared to each other because their styles are very similar. But I've often felt that, to me, that Alvin Kamara is better than Christian McCaffrey. Now, hey, the stats don't prove that because Christian McCaffrey's been I ain't gonna say way, but he's been more productive than Alvin Kamara, especially last year. It's like night and day. But with this type of system, and if ran correctly, that's the caveat, Alvin Kamara can have the same success as a Christian McCaffrey. And Clint Kubiak knows that. He knows that. When they asked Kubiak, why you decide to come to New Orleans? Because of the players. Who are you looking at? Alvin Kamara. I'm looking at Alvin Kamara. That's my Christian McCaffrey. I'm looking at Chris Olave, who's going to have a breakout season. Rashid Shaheed going into his sophomore year, but he's going to be phenomenal, So, I mean, we got people, man, that I think that will fit and do some great stuff. And Jawan Johnson's another dude, man. I want Jawan Johnson to really step his game up. I know he hurt, but he's supposed to be ready. I think he said he's supposed to be ready coming up for the regular season. So we'll see how that goes, man. But yeah, I seen that, man. The Saints, this is go time. The Saints, Mickey got to do something. I don't know. Mickey ain't doing nothing right now, man. Mickey need to go ahead on and make that pop and shake, man. Go over there and get Alvin Kamara together, man. Because I like Kendre Miller, but Kendre Miller is not ready, man. Yeah, I'm just going 1 or 2 games last year. He looked good, but show me you can go through an entire regular season to be counted on, like in the rotation. I know about his talents, but like he spent a lot of time last year and then showed up on the back end when he's finally healthy. Is he done with his injuries? Is he ready to show a large servant? I don't think you put all that on him and this is a make it or break it year. You damn sure need Alvin Kamara in a make it break it year. You see? All right. So anyway, big ups. What's up, Edward? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you. As well. Yeah, I seen that with him, man. All right. Quick Start says, do we get the cap release for Ram? They didn't release Ram yet. I know that they reworking them. I think they reworked them, but they haven't, even though they put them on the IR, I don't think that'd be something that the Saints have to deal with. I've been saying this. I think Ramczyk's done with the Saints. Now they're not going to say that, but I think he's done. I mean, you already have the bookend tackles right there. You drafted these guys. You got another offensive tackle, 2 first-round pick tackles, bookends. You got to get value for them, or you get criticized if you don't. Nick Saldiveri is a 4th-round selection. We got him there. And they're cheaper than Ryan Ramczyk, who unfortunately can't go. I think Ram's done with the Saints anyway. He might be able to shake back, when he gets healthy and if he wants to continue his playing career, I mean, he might shake back with somebody else, but I think with his replacements are here, man. The Saints got to move forward. They got to move on. Yeah, YO says Kendra Miller and A.T. Perry breakout sophomore season. Remember, that's a lot to ask for, bro. Like I said before, a lot of people struggle. That's why when we talk about players in their second years, I always hesitate because I know that them guys, they struggle. They always seem to struggle in the second year. They always do. So we're going to see, man. That's why I say, man, listen, like you mentioned, and you got Kendra, A.T. Perry. Now, if A.T. Perry got a little pressure on him because A.T. Perry, a big physical wide receiver with speed. A.T. Perry can move. He's a red zone weapon. He's the tall guy you need that complements Chris Olave. You got Chris Olave this, and then you got the tall guy with speed. He's perfect. But the thing about it is, sophomore year, plus he got a little pressure on him. Cedric Wilson is here to take that job. Cedric Wilson been in the game a little longer. He ain't a big name, but Cedric Wilson is a good, sturdy wide receiver that comes in, he blocks, he catches. He's not a big name guy that you go around and say, man, he often gets forgot about, when he's out there. But when you throw the ball to him, he catches it, he blocks. He's a solid wide receiver. He is going for that third wide receiver job. And you got Bub Means. Bub Means is another dude that's going to be kind of trying to put the pressure on to kind of get that. So A.T. Perry going into his second year, learning a whole new system, he got to step it up, man. I'm always looking at them second-year players. I'm like, man, I don't know, man. We got to chill on it. All right. What's up, Trey? Good to see Trey in the building as well. What's up, Dev84 John says, where do we get a pass rush? Where do we get pass rush from? I mean, man. Well, the Saints approached it, right? Chase Young, who's rehabbing from the neck surgery. Cam Jordan, rehabbing from the ankle. Carl Granderson, 8.5 sacks last year. Carl's a dude that said that he kind of lost gas toward the back end of the season, kind of ran out of gas, right? He working on improving that. Peyton Turner gets hurt often. When he's healthy, he actually does some pretty positive things. Can't count on him that much. He has to improve. And then Isaiah Foskey, what can I say about Foskey? He got good speed. He got to work on his strength more. He has to work on his fundamentals a little bit more. And he's buried behind all those guys. So he's like the last guy there, depending on how the Saints. But they got a rotation of defensive ends. It's just a lot of them got questions, And if we thinking at some point that like the Saints actually, they went in the free agency, they signed Chase Young. I was like, man, that's something else. I thought Carolina was going to get him. But deep in the back of my mind, I said, why did Carolina let him go? And when they let him go, they immediately, and Brother Rock knows, Brother Rock can co-sign on this. When they let Chase Young, Carolina let Chase Young out the building, I say, man, because he was in there with him, I say, man, they're not going to let him out of there. Because they traded Brian Burns and they need a guy to replace him on their defensive line. And when the reports was he left, I was like, what? That don't make any sense. So the thought was he wants more than what they're willing to pay, even though I know that they had the money to pay. I was like, what? Something's wrong here. Something's wrong here. And then you didn't figure it out until later that when the Saints signed him, and then the next day, I think it was the next day. The next day it came out that he was having neck surgery. I was like, there you go. Because right after he left, they signed 2 defensive ends. They signed 2 D ends. I forgot who they signed. I think one of them was DJ Wonnum, and I forgot who the other guy is. But, man, let me tell you something. We knew what time it is. But anyway, the answer, Brother John's question about the defensive ends, it's question marks, man, because Cam, I'm going to give Cam some credit, man, because Cam been here for a while. I know he's going to do something. He ain't going to be happy with 2 sacks. So he got a lot thinner to become more streamlined. He says he's on point to, coming back from the ankle issue that kind of stammered him. Carl Granderson worked on that. We don't know what Peyton Turner, hopefully Peyton Turner can do something. Chase Young, they said he's on pace to be healthy for the regular season. I don't know how much he plays in training camp, but a lot of questions in terms of that, don't we? It's not like a draw. The only serious one you could say that you feel pretty good about is Carl Granderson. All the rest of them, you don't know. Because Cam, I would be certain with Cam with the ankle issue. But the Saints have questions with all of their defensive ends, and they got a deep room. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy if you think about it. That's crazy, man. All right, what's up, Trey? Trey, the big bro, says, if we go 0-6 or 0-9, don't be surprised if there's a complete sweep in the front office and head coach and coaches. Oh, absolutely. 0-6, no. I don't think he makes it to 0-9. The pressure, like I was saying, y'all go back in y'all mind and remember what kind of pressure was on the Saints last year when they was losing those games early. Like when they lost that Green Bay game. That was like ridiculous. The Minnesota game, remember the Minnesota game? They didn't even have their starting quarterback and their best wide receiver, and they still beat the Saints. Then they went to the bye week and then lost to Atlanta after the bye week. When that's when Derek Carr threw the pick six and then congratulated, what's your boy name? I forgot his name. Congratulated your boy during the game. Not after the game, but during the game. Yeah, congratulations on that pick six. What? Yeah, that must have been that painkiller. That pain had him dumb as hell. You don't congratulate nobody for pick six of you, man, during the game. I don't know, people crazy. All right. Yeah, no doubt about it though, bro. That won't make it. You won't make it into 0-9. The pressure that the Who Dat Nation is going to put upon them, because it's a lot of people don't like Dennis Allen. And it's not because they picking on Dennis. No, Dennis Allen be doing a lot of this to himself, man. He does a lot of this to himself. You don't apologize to Atlanta. I don't care under any circumstances. You could have kicked the coach in his nuts by mistake. Don't apologize for it. Next time you should say, well, next time, bro, don't be standing there when I'm stretching my leg. Whatever the case may be. You never apologize. And the thing is, why I was really upset with him apologizing was because he never apologized to your ass for none of them stinking ass losses that he did, the worst losses in the world. He never apologized for them, not one, but you can open your mouth to apologize to the Falcons. He does that. The backstabbing stuff, the throwing his team under the bus. He does it to himself, man. All this is warranted. That's why I don't defend no Dennis Allen, man, because he needs to step up and be better than that, man. He's supposed to be a grown man. He's supposed to know better than that. And you should know, because people, he might not know no better. Oh, he knows, because them people know they don't want that shit done to them. They don't want nobody doing that type of stuff to them. They know better. So yeah, the pressure. I don't think Mickey Loomis will be safe, because Gail is totally, she totally out of it. She's just a figurehead. She's an ambassador. Like when you watch her come out there, she just smiles and waves. She's an ambassador. She's basically an ambassador. And the power happens. She gives way too much power and over relies on these people. That's what I'm saying. Gail, you need to have your own people, not who your ex-husband left you. But you need to have a person, at least one person that you can trust, that reports directly to you, that tells you the real about the team. You need more basketball and football people that you pick out, that you go out and find. You can go out and go to a hiring agency, say, listen, I'm looking for this person, that person, and can you do it? And hire them, because you can afford it. Because some of these people, they're past their prime, man. No disrespect to Mickey Loomis, man. But some of these people are past their prime, man. They past their prime. They really are. You need fresh minds up there, and they definitely need that. All right, another JLJ Benefit High presentation says, I think they struggled in the second season because they were actually trying hard to top their first season, if I stand correct. All right, thank you, fam. Appreciate you for that. All right, Riley says Ram will retire next year. Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Hemisphere, shout out to you, Hemisphere. Good to see you. ATL hometown Atlanta Falcons. Hey, Big Q, I'm the real Atlanta fan. What'd you think about Atlanta Falcons roster? Well, yeah. Well, nah. I mean, Atlanta, y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. Let's just say I'm a diehard black and gold man, but y'all guys did all right. Let me just keep it real with y'all did all right. And this is coming from a guy that don't like the Falcons, okay? No disrespect, and I'm pretty sure you don't like the Saints, but I think y'all did all right because the biggest issue that the Falcons had in my mind and my scouting that I did with them was the quarterback position. And y'all did too. Y'all doubled up. Y'all doubled up with the QBs, which was pretty damn good. Congratulations, double it. Because y'all got Kirk Cousins. Y'all paid him a little too much, but I can understand what you was doing because if he's healthy, he helps you with the jump. And then you have the quarterback of the future you took, and a lot of people was upset by that, including Kirk Cousins. Well, he can just shut the hell up because if Kirk Cousins gets hurt again, then you would have to have gone back to Trevor Siemian. Or not Trevor Siemian, whoever the guy is, the Heineke guy. You would have to go back to Heineke and that wouldn't have worked. So you kind of did a really positive thing. You got Mr. Right Now and the man of the future at the quarterback position. So that was a bold move, and I commend y'all on that. Now, the rest of it is just getting Bijan going, getting him Tyler Algieri going. Getting the weapons going. Y'all added some good wide receivers to complement those guys. Hopefully the tight end, Pitts can stay healthy. The offensive line is solid. The defense, a lot of money was spent on y'all defense to try to improve there. The defensive end position, a bit of a question, but linebackers are okay. Secondary is all right. And you got one of the best kickers in the game, man. So, Atlanta, man, y'all made some progress. Y'all fixed the biggest problem y'all had, which was the QB position. That was in terms of what I know from Atlanta and scouting Atlanta. That's what I seen on them. So, hey, I think y'all guys did okay, man. I think y'all did. He said, yeah, we got the division wrapped up. I ain't going to give you all that, brother. I just said that y'all improved. How many games did y'all win last year? Was 7 games? Y'all won like 7 games? What y'all won last year? Remind me, bro. I forgot. I already forgot. Oh, did you address St. Brown? Oh yeah, St. Brown. Oh yeah. When he said nobody in your room or something like that believes that y'all going to. Yeah, he was talking smack to his brother, and that's with the Saints now. Amon is the dude. He's the man. He's the guy for the Detroit Lions. He's the man. Now, Equimius, if I'm saying his name correctly, is not the man. He's the opposite of the man. He is the not the man. He's the anti-man, in terms of what his brother is. But the thing is, and I appreciate him taking up for his squad, but a lot of people would champion it. I was like, man, a lot of Who Dats usually are very proud, but it's a demoralization happening here, because you got some that are excited, you got some that are like, man, listen, we're not going anywhere until we get this guy out of here at the head coach level. Then when we get him out, then we can see some success. That's what a lot of people are, and I'm like, I can't be mad at you either way. Like if people feeling good about the Saints, hey man, great. If you don't, that's your instinct. I can't tell you nothing about that. I can drop some facts with you. Perhaps it'll lighten your mood on it. But a lot of people are demoralized by how the Saints have handled the team over the last couple of years. They are. I hear it all the time. Yeah, Bates, thank you, bro. Yeah, Bates, there you go. Thank you. Wild says Q, I just pressed 2 and 28 and 3 automatically. Oh, does it? You kidding, man? That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? No, they're not mediocre, bro. I'll be 7 games. See, seven is the win, right, for Atlanta, right? Yeah, we had with no QB, right? Yeah, but I got you on that. Yeah, no, I understand. With no QB, y'all got 7 wins. That's what I was saying. The quarterback situation last year was the detriment. Y'all went out and got 2 really good quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is a problem for the Saints. Kirk Cousins have always given to say that's the history when they signed Kirk Cousins. That's what I was more concerned. I was like, damn, they got Kirk Cousins. That mean that, man, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta, because Kirk Cousins has a good time against the Saints. And I'm pretty sure that's what the Falcons are bringing him there, hoping that can come over. That success that he's had with Minnesota can follow him to Atlanta. So, I mean, we'll see. But that was the biggest detriment to QB position. So yeah, 7 wins, y'all can very well climb to maybe, a couple of wins, but it's definitely a situation where, like I said, man, the Saints have the talent. Well, they had it last year and they couldn't do it. See, that's the thing. You change systems, you talk about philosophy, but will it be enough? Will they buy in? And there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to happen with the black and gold. Like, we do have the talent. The Saints went out and they did some stuff. They weren't as active as they needed to be because, they didn't have the money. They don't want to tie themselves into something going forward because they don't really know what it's going to be. Like, if it crashes and burns, they have to get rid of a lot of people. And then they got to rehire. And then you can't rehire some bum coach. You got to go and get a good one. Somebody that can take the Saints and bring them to, if that is indeed the case. But in last year with the black and gold and with a weak schedule, the Saints wasn't able to clinch the NFC South, which was a problem. Like, how did you not, be able to do that? So, we're going to see, man. Because it's all dependent on how fast the Saints offense plays. It's all on the Saints offense. And that's what I'm saying about Dennis Allen. A lot of people don't buy into Dennis Allen because Dennis Allen doesn't really, he doesn't improve. It's like, okay, when you all from football, like, if you're serious about improving, you need to have your focus like, okay, you got your family and all that, but listen, dude, this is a competitive business. You got to be somewhere studying on the game, picking up some philosophy somewhere, attending a convention where Nick Saban and some of these guys, because that's what they were doing. A lot of the offseason, you get a lot of spectacular coaches that won a lot. They'll hold conventions, or not conventions like, conventions or a little, not shindigs or get-togethers, but conferences is a better word, where you go there, you meet with them, they drop game, they explain to you, and they sell books, and they have these insights, and they bring all these other people with them. I'm like, why aren't you attending these things, dude? Why aren't you there? Like, if it's like quarterbacks will go to, or a tight end will go to a tight end camp. Like, you've seen some of these guys go to a camp that's hosted by, what's your boy name from the 49ers? That's by him and other Kels and the guy from the Niners and the other guy. The top 3 tight ends in the NFL are doing tight end camps. And if you're a tight end in the NFL and you got money, you need to go over there. You need to go to that camp and see what they're teaching. And that's even with the Manning camps, when they had the high schoolers and the college people and all this kind of stuff, they'll go to the Manning camps because they drop in game. It was like those camps are giving quarterbacks some kind of knowledge that they're not getting nowhere else, where they can be able to understand and perceive the game differently. Teaching them something. And that's what he would need to be. That dude don't do none of that. He don't go to none of that. I don't understand how he think he's supposed to improve. Are you reading books? Like, those guys have, like, I talk about this all the time. I know they got coaches that won a lot of games. They got books, that's out. That you could read how to win. Red Auerbach has one. Phil Jackson got books, that talks about, his philosophy and all this. And you if you're in that game, if you're a coach, and you're not really a good coach and you're on the hot seat, I'd be trying to soak up as much game as I possibly can from a Nick Saban or some of these guys that won at a high level. I'll be soaking up as much game as I can. I wouldn't just be sitting up here, sitting on my ass talking, soak up as much game as you possibly can because it can help your team. Learn how to be a better motivator. I've been saying this shit for the last several years. Like, every year I ask the question in the offseason, how is Dennis Allen going to improve as a head coach? Because the team will go as far as the head coach. They can't win in spite of the head coach. You get what I'm saying? You can have an uber talented team. The Saints had an uber talented team last year. What good that did them? The team was constantly underperforming at times, and then there was a time when a team get demoralized that you're supposed to know what to say to lift their spirits. And if you don't know how to do it, go find somebody that can come in and talk to them. That's what Sean Payton used to do. Sean Payton used to he had Avery Johnson in here. He had different people that would come in and have speeches and stuff to keep his message straight. And Dennis Allen was there. I don't understand why he don't do that. Sean Payton did that all the time. And he did that all the time. And you've seen him do that. You was on his staff as a D coordinator. I don't understand why he's not using some of these stuff. You thinking he can just win on that. Man, you're not going to win like that. You got to know how to talk to people. And not everybody has come from the same, you know, and then it's a complicated game because you got to know how to talk to an Elvin Kamara and a Cam Jordan and all these other people. Different but the same that you would talk to the last guy on the rotation. You see what I'm saying? The guy at the buried on the bottom of the team. You got to know how to talk to everybody differently. You can't use a template to talk to everybody the same. You got to approach them on their level and know how to talk to people. That's a coach's job. You got to know how to smooth out concerns in the team. Like if there's issues and problems in the team, you got to know how to approach it, see it. First of all, recognize it, that it's a problem before it becomes a problem, and then check it and then move on. You see what I'm saying? You can't let it fester or say there is no, like he did last year when we knew there was a divide in the locker room for the Saints, and then they sent up there talking about ain't no divide in the locker room, and we know it's a divide in the locker room. We know because the reporters are there. We know because they're breaking the stories on the word on the street as well. Such and such is unhappy because of the losing that's going on, such and such. You heard what Lance Moore said last year about what happened with him throwing the team under the bus and all that, and that wouldn't work. That didn't happen when I played. So like I said, man, players are humans, and you have to, and for those guys to work for you and play for you, you got to earn their trust. And when you earn their trust, if something's unfair is going on, you got to approach it and you got to fix it. You got to deal with it. That guy don't do that well. That's another thing he has to work on. That's what I was saying, man. I don't understand, man. You have to, it's more than just being a head coach of a football team. You gotta wear many hats, and you gotta be proactive, and you gotta be on it. So I don't know, man. Look at Mike Tomlin. How you think Mike Tomlin made it all those years? You think his eyes just big for no reason? His eyes bucking? You know, he sees all. Mike be looking up there. They got a problem. Mike is he on it. He fixing it. All of them, man. You got to be more than just some football coach to people, man. They be looking for guidance. All right, Trey, the big bro says, a bro coached an undrafted linebacker, Anthony Orji. Okay. And he says, Origin says Penning is a, oh, did he say that? He said he's a bust. He played pretty bad last year, man. But I think, let's see what he looks like this year. He said, I think when y'all lost Breeze, it went downhill like it was, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we had opportunities to replace Drew Brees. We had opportunity to take Lamar Jackson. Sean Payton traded there, and then we thought he was going after Lamar Jackson, and he took Marcus Davenport. By far one of the dumbest trades, or dumbest moves the Saints ever made. So, I mean, we had opportunities, man. We just squandered a lot of them. Byron says Kirk Cousins can't handle Saints since he was old team, but beat 2020, 2019. But he says we lose last year against them. Indeed. Ken says everybody wants to win a Super Bowl. Only one winner, 31 losers, right? That's a hardcore fact. He says, well, I appreciate you. Thank you, bro, for the subscribe, bro. Thank you, man. Wild says Dennis is a cupcake, but I hope he just doesn't interfere. Well, I don't think he'll ever interfere with Clint Kubiak. I don't think he interferes with Clint Kubiak at all. I don't think that's one positive thing that you can say about Dennis Allen, that he is not a meddler. He won't meddle with you. Now that can work for you and against you, because what if Clint Kubiak needs some guidance, like for Dennis Allen to go over there and say, hey, man, you got this, you all right? What do you need? You need some help over there? You need another, what you need? You know, that kind of stuff. That's what you need to do. You know, you don't have to be like David Griffin, an octopus, want to control everything. You know, when you got other guys that you hire to do it, you don't need to be like that. That's the extremity of it. But if you are, Dennis Allen is not a meddler. He will give you the job and let you do it. And then when you fail, he will spin excuses for you or either fire you like he did Pete Carmichael. You know, somebody got to take the L, right? And it's not going to be him, you know? So, yeah, it's just what it is, man. So it's a lot of questions involved with the Saints, man. But I do think that they made the right choice. Getting Clint Kubiak, you need accountable people. Even if you're not accountable, right? And I've said this before, if you're not accountable, like if you're not really good at attention to detail stuff, right? You're not really good at that. Get people around you that are. You got to get people around you. You can't, if you lacking that skill, you got to bring somebody on your team that possess that skill. And he did do that. So we'll see if it works. But I think, we'll see. It's a lot of stuff there with the Saints that have to be watched. You got the offensive line. There's a lot of young people on the offensive line. We got to see how that looks. The Alvin Kamara situation, hopefully they give him his bread because we want him in that camp because he got to learn the system and hit the ground running in week 1. You can't fall down and have losses in the first 6 games of the season. You gotta represent. And the Saints are going to be tested early. It's not going to look good if you 1-4 or something like that going into week 6. That's not going to look good at all. You got to handle your business. You got to hit the ground running. You need Alvin Kamara deal done and in camp so he can pick up that new system. It's not hard, man. Just do what they do. Do what they do. All right. Dark Side says MVP year loading for Derek Carr. All right. Thank you, bro. I sincerely hope so. All right. Wyo says, yeah, I think we can stay healthy, but who knows? Yeah, that's the thing we said last year. Like, Saints got this. They got that NFC South. Everybody else is rookie quarterbacks. Everybody's inexperienced. And what happened? The Saints, they went, 9-7 last year and missed the playoffs? And it was if Dennis Allen would have changed quickly. He didn't change a damn thing. He didn't change, especially offensively speaking with Pete Carmichael. If he would have changed it up early on, things could have been different. But that's the kicking part about it. It's like the failure was your inactivity. You were supposed to move when you were supposed to move. Because nobody wants to hear all this stuff at the end of the season about, hey, man, listen, I'm pissed. Because that's how he opened his press conference in the year. I'm pissed. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me you pissed. We're pissed because you didn't get up off your ass and do what you're supposed to do when you were supposed to do it. Move when you see a problem. Don't sit there and make excuses and people promoting you to change things. And then you say you're going to change and you ain't changed a goddamn thing. And then when they fail, then you start with the excuses and people really can't stand that. They can't stand it. That's the thing. That's one of the things that I despise about these professional teams. I really do. Especially what happened with the Pelicans last year. And you get these people that come out here and blame everything but their own stinking asses for why the team failed. They blame everybody. I had David Griffin. I covered it on the Pelican post-game report, our Pelican stream, with David Griffin coming out here talking about, why they didn't trade Brandon Ingram on time when the market was hot as hell when they opened up for him. Then it went from him way up here to him way down here, no market at all. How did that work? How did that work? And then all of the excuses from the market, the size of the Saints, the Pelicans market that they play in, the New Orleans market, everything was an excuse except for his inactivity and not taking deals when they were there. Everything is an excuse. And see, as a owner, you got to be able to understand that. And that's not Gail Benson. That's the thing that really, it affects me. So it affects my faith in this team, because at least I knew Tom Benson knew about the Saints. He knew football. Maybe not so much on the basketball, but he knew football. When he bought the Pelicans, he was a really old man at that time. I think he was just doing it as a money maneuver. But in terms of football, he knew football. And when he hired Sean Payton, Sean used to do stuff. He would call Sean Payton into his office and tell him, why did you do that? Why did you do that, Sean? Such and such you could have done. That's what he used to do. And kept Payton together. His ego wasn't all what it was when Tom Benson was here. That ego got big and through the roof when Tom Benson closed his eyes and passed away. But that's the thing that I really despise. I despise it. I despise when these people make these terrible efforts and these errors, and then they get up here and blame every damn thing but their own stinking asses. You're going to talk about Mickey Lomas blaming COVID for why the Saints are in cap hell. Really? So it had nothing to do with that car contract. Had nothing to do with all them shitty contracts you signed, all that stuff, huh? It was the C-19. Oh, hell yeah, it was. I guarantee you, I'll tell you right up and down. It was C-19. That was the culprit. Oh yeah. I tell you, you goddamn right, buddy. No. We're not going for that. And we got an owner, she's an ambassador, and she don't see none of it. She don't see none of it. She don't see none of that, man. She don't see none of that. She don't see it at all. And the president of both teams doesn't see any of it. That's the worst part. If she doesn't know, he don't. They don't see none of it. So where is it? It's just ridiculous, man. Don't tell me if you lose, keep it real and tell the truth. That's why we so popular, because a lot of the media people, they're not going to tell it. We got a lot of them that keep it real. Like, I got to give a shout out to this. And I always give the shout out to the media guys that tell the truth, because a lot of these stories wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for those guys telling the truth. If you didn't have Triplet and Underhill going in that and them asking questions, and Triplet asked more questions than he asked 3 times the fucking questions that anybody else asked. He'll ask 3 questions in a row. And most of the stories are based on the questions that he asked, him and Nick Underhill asking, because they are not like reporter. Even though they're reporter types, they actually have the mind of the people that they're writing for. That's the success. You can't go in there with narratives. People don't want to hear all of that. They want to hear the truth. And see, they walk that line. And as long as you're doing that, a lot of these stories are made because of that mindset. That's what I'm advocating for. Ask the questions. You don't have to be disrespectful, but ask the questions the people want to know. If you got access to the people, ask the damn questions that they want to know in the best way that you can. And they do an excellent job. That's why I commend those guys all the time. Because if it wasn't for their line of question, what they're doing, man, you wouldn't hear a lot of this stuff. The Jameis Winston stuff, all that was behind them. It was a bunch of stuff. So shout out to those guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. Like I said, it's a lot of them that bring it, like Saints News Network. That's my guys over there. They do a great job. They keep it real too. But like I said, it's a lot of people out there, man, that do it the right. And there's the other ones that don't. I wish we had I wish we had some more people like that on the Pelican side, man, to kind of keep Griffin together, because he just too much lying going on for me. Spinning words. I don't like nobody coming around here spinning a bunch of words that don't mean shit, using sustainability and all these old bland ass words that don't mean anything. That don't mean anything, man. Talk to people in generalities. Tell them what you're trying to do and what you're doing. They will understand it. Don't spin no bull around here, man. That just sets me off, and I just tear your ass up all day. I break it all down and just rip you to shreds, because nobody wants to hear all that old foolishness and lies. Just tell the truth. It's time. It's truth telling time, man. To hell with all that other stuff. Got me upset. All right. So anyway, man, let's keep it bucking, man. Bobbing with Johnson. I seen the video of Griffin dapping Zion like he just be full of it. Darkside said AK missed the last 3 games last year. Hopefully he can start the year strong. Yeah, and he's, word on streets, he's good to go, bro. The thing is, the Saints need to just go ahead on and give him the little 2-year extension he needs, because anything that's worth, for you having success and having a deep playoff run, you're going to need Alvin Kamara. No disrespect to Jamal Williams. I just see him more as a compliment back. Kendre Miller is, in my opinion, he did some positive stuff toward the back end of the year. But before I say, okay, Kendre Miller, let's let Elvin go for Kendre Miller, I need to see more from Kendre Miller. Like, he was hurt all year, and then he came on late on in the year and had some positive stuff. But that's not enough for me to let Alvin Kamara go and say, okay, we got Kendre Miller here. No, I need at least another year to see that, bro. So Alvin, no, he's a smart dude. Alvin Kamara is a smart-ass dude. He knows what he's doing. He knows the Saints need him to be there. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. I just think we just need to keep it going, man. Yeah. All right. So anyway, let me open up the phone line. We'll let some family members pop in right quick, man. Drop your game, man. I'm about to put it in the chat, TSC chat, Sports Coma, man. We ain't going to be going long in this one, man, because I got a lot of stuff I got to do tomorrow. But I want to hear from y'all guys tonight. So like I said, I ain't going to be going a long time. So if you want to pop in, man, we're going to put the link in the chat below, and I'm going to pin it to the chat. So if y'all want to pop in, man, y'all can pop in. Talk to me, drop some game. Tell me how y'all feel about the Saints, what we need to do. Like we're saying, we got a couple of days before, I think the 23rd, before the veterans report. And we're getting very close to going back to training camp football, man. So If y'all want to pop in with me tonight, y'all can feel free to do it. Shout out to you. Shout out to my people listening via X, Instagram, and other platforms you listen through X. Please feel free to give me a retweet. You know, we up in this thing. So anyway, links in the chat right there. Y'all can chime in. Let me know how y'all feel about the black and gold, man. Are y'all excited? I'm actually feeling pretty good about the Saints, man. I actually am. I think that they, like I said before, I think they got the right people, especially in the offensive room, to kind of change this thing around, man. That's what I think. And then, of course, let me see if I can put this damn schedule up here, because that's going to be the juggernaut for the black and gold. Is that damn schedule, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull that schedule up. Let me pull the schedule up, man. Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see what this is, man, because this is going to be interesting. The first 6, actually, man. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting, family. Very interesting. If you look at this schedule, man, Carolina's the first game. A lot of people anticipate us beating Carolina. Then you go to Dallas in week 2. You come home for Philly. You go to ATL in week number 4. Then you travel to KC on a Monday night. So you got like a little longer week there. And then week 6 is Tampa Bay and then Denver. So even though we kind of looking at those first 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we can't like look at Tampa and be like, man, we're going to beat Dallas. Tampa Bay actually playing some good football. Denver is Sean Payton, and that's going to be on a short week after the Tampa Bay game. So what do we look like here? You know, what do we look like? You see? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, man. We got to hit the ground running. That's why I'm advocating for Alvin Kamara to get his bread, man. We got to get Alvin Kamara. Got to get him paid, man. Because this schedule here, man, is kind of vexing, man. Look at this shit, man. Man, we need all this training camp. Mickey Loomis, can you please get Alvin Kamara his money, man? Pay Alvin Kamara, give him his 2-year extension. Get this done, man. Because look at what you facing in the first 7 weeks. Ain't no punk, man. Look at this. Because the Sean Payton game's on the short week after the Tampa Bay game. So you having Sean Payton on a Thursday night, a short week. Afterwards, Tampa Bay is going to be a physical matchup. So the first 7 weeks. Even you talk about Chargers, even with the Chargers. When the last time we beat the Chargers? You know, the Chargers have been a difficult matchup for the Saints of recent. And now you got John Harbaugh is running that team now. Is it Jim or John? Which one is it? I think it's John. Yeah, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is running that team now, right? Is it Jim or John? I forget. Hold on. I forget. But the Harbaughs is right. Like Michigan Harbaugh is over the San Diego team. So and they're not going to be no weakling either. So I mean, yeah, I'm looking at this schedule saying, my goodness, man. Carolina is the only one I could say, hey man, you looking good on that one. But then again, you don't want the Saints to overlook Carolina for Dallas, which is that's why I said the week 1 is a trap game off the bat. Off the jump, week 1 is a trap game. It's a trap game straight off the bat. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. We're going to see. All right, Reginald says 10-7 win division, host playoff game. Who dat? Let's go. Thank you, Reginald. Shout out to you. Y'all hit the like button if y'all ain't give a chance to hit it. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, man, we need to keep this thing going, man. And I think the Saints will improve. A lot of people don't think it a lot. I had people, not a lot, people to tell me, family, that, man, I want the Saints to lose so we can get rid of Dennis Allen. I've had people to tell me that. I'm like, what? No, I don't hate nobody that bad where I want my team to lose so that they can get rid of him. No, absolutely not. No. Because I'm cool with Dennis Allen if the Saints are winning. That's why, because I want to win. If they're winning, he got to be doing something right. You can't, even though you might not like the guy, I get that part of it. But at the same time, I don't want my damn team to lose nothing, man. I want to win. I want to win. Philip says 13-4. Thank you, Philip. Yeah. I'm not into that frame of thought, man. I'm sorry. I want to win. So if it was with Dennis Allen or without Dennis Allen, I want to win. So if this is be the season, we'll see. But I think he did the right job with the offense. I think Clint Kubiak, Andrew Janoku, and the rest of those guys are the right choices to turn the offense around. Mickey Loomis got to get on his game, get Elvin his money. We got to have health in there that helps out too. That's a big part of it. All right, what's up, Rose? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you. Brother Wallace says 12-5. Okay, 12-5. That's okay. If it was a fifth, if we can win, if we can be able to stay on code, and that's a lot of stuff to say, because you need the bunch of rookies, inexperienced offensive linemen to run block very well. We got good coaches. They might be able to pull that off. Might not be perfect, but it'll do just enough to kind of win the game. And the thing is, not so much as scheme or fit. That's one thing. But follow me on this. A lot of times we seen last year when we talk about the Saints struggled a lot with turnovers, with penalties, those things, the miscue. How smart is the Saints overall? That's the thing that really kick you in your pants is, them having the pre-snap penalties, the false starting, all that kind of stuff. Where's that at? And of course, we have no way to determine what that is right now because we haven't walked those steps yet. But that's something I keep in the back of my head. The miscues, the pre-snap penalties, the dumb stuff that hurts us, that we hurt ourselves. We have to be able to fix that. We had that in abundance during the season last year, where we just do reckless stuff for whatever reason. The attitude of each game going into each game has to change, because this is a challenge early on. To do it. You get Carolina, that's a trap game. Dallas at Dallas. I know it's listen. None of these teams, you're getting them, and the good is you're getting these teams, and they're not going to be in midseason form, right? Now you get Kansas City after a month worth of football. That's not midseason. But some teams in Kansas City, they had a really good offseason. They had a really good draft that they had. I was really impressed with their draft. I like what they did in the offseason as well. And Kansas City just retooled and just keep going with Patrick Mahomes boys. So you got a month into the season before you see Kansas City at KC. That's going to be tough, no matter how you slice it. The first game against Atlanta, within a month worth of games, you get Atlanta in Atlanta. That's going to be a spicy matchup. The Philly game is a problem because Jalen Hurts I think the only time we beat the Philly squad in the Jalen Hurts era was he was hurt and didn't play in the game. We played against Gardner Minshew and beat the Eagles then. But anytime Jalen Hurts is playing in these games, we don't beat him. We haven't been able to beat him. Maybe we can change that this year. The Dallas game that's our biggest rival going west. The Dallas Cowboys are our second biggest rival. Some people say here about San Francisco 49ers. Now, we don't play them enough to be that. Minnesota is something. I don't consider them higher than Dallas, but Atlanta is obviously the top. And then going west, the other team is Dallas. No doubt about it. There is definitely something there between Dallas and the Saints. We always want to beat Dallas. But going to Dallas and going to Atlanta and Kansas City within the first 5 weeks of the season, that's not going to be easy. But you have to have your running attack if you are in these games to beat these squads. Bottom line. That's how it goes. So, boy, the Saints, like I said, even if you peer down the schedule, And I got it, placed, right at week 9 right here, because truthfully, outside, and no disrespect to Carolina, but everybody, whether it's Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Denver, and we talk about Denver because of the Sean Payton element, right? And then that's a short week. That's a Thursday game after playing Tampa Bay in the Dome. So, and then even week 8, the Sunday game against the Chargers out in LA. I mean, we struggle against the Chargers. You got a Harbaugh over there. So, like I said, it's those games are going to be very interesting to see how the Saints handle that. And if they could win, like, they got to hit the ground running. And if it's anything like a 1-4 or 1-5, boy, if you got a 2 or 3 game hole, I really hope it's not the case. That's going to hurt bad, because I don't think Dennis Allen would be able to survive that. He wouldn't be able to survive that. It would be that pressure of that one and whatever it'd be, and he wouldn't be it. That would be unbearable. Like last year, remember the pressure he was feeling with losing some of them games, and then we was wanting to get rid of them last year, and they standing up there. They disappeared for all those weeks after the season. They finally had the press conference and all that kind of stuff. And then Slick Side is saying that they was keeping them and all that none of that's going on. If that's a losing streak, a discrepancy in games between 1-4 or something like that, and you going into the middle portion, man, he won't be able to make it through that. He won't be able to make it through that, man. He won't be. You got to hit the ground running, man. Any discrepancy of 3 games or so, boy, I'm telling you, man, because I remember the pressure last year on him. He looked like a wounded possum in the face. Y'all remember that? So it's just, he won't be able to make it through it. So the Saints got to hit the ground running, man. We really do. All right, Philip says he said we got everything we need as long as we play as a team. Indeed, bro, that's the thing about it. Hemisphere says, not I don't hate DA. It's already seen enough to know DA isn't a head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator. Thank you, bro. Reginald says start off fast, win division games, finish strong, stay healthy. Chance at 11-5. Who that family? Yeah, Reginald, that's good, man. We could beat these teams, no doubt. Like I said, Dallas, Philly. These guys not going to be in mid-season form that early. So yeah, you can beat them. You can beat Dallas early. You can beat Philly. Yeah, you can beat them. You can beat Atlanta. You go into a Monday night matchup against Kansas City, and that'll be a month worth of games. So they might have a little something going, but still very beatable. Tampa Bay, you can beat them. Denver, that'll be interesting. Chargers. But like I said, which Saint team shows up, that's the point. A Dark Side says Carmichael killed the team with play call, and Saints was dead last in pre-snap motion play action, which shouldn't have shouldn't happen with the weapons on the outside of Olave and Rashid. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Good comment. All right, Philip says we could beat everyone. I'm telling y'all, fam, we're gonna look like a different team. I'm with you on that, Philip. Talk that talk. All right, yeah, talk that talk. That's what if you have Clint Kubiak, we have these guys. We should be all right, right? Yep, we should be all right. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Then if we kind of get down in the schedule, you start noticing other things like, okay, we get to Carolina, Atlanta again. You got the Browns with Jameis. The Browns are not a pushover either. So even though they did the thing where they said the Saints had the second or the best, the more favorable record in terms of teams based on the wins and losses last year, which is really, that really is just a cute stat to throw out there, but it has no impact on what the teams look like going into the season, because a lot of these teams were good teams. Like Cleveland is not a pushover. Atlanta will be much improved. The Rams, we have a problem when Rams took a step back. We know Aaron Donald's not there, but they made some moves. We'll be getting him here. We should be able to do something with them. The Giants, we don't know what the Giants are. They looked good 2 years ago and then crap the bed this last year. The Commanders with Jaden Daniels, and these games will be later on in the year, so a lot of them guys that have reps. We'll have the Monday night matchup against the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love. We need to get even with them. The Raiders matchup, and then Tampa Bay to close out the year. So yeah, this, even though early on, man, this schedule could be problematic for the Saints if we don't get everybody in camp like we're supposed to get. Straight up. What's up, brother Chemo? How you doing, man? All right. He says, all the bad football we watched the Saints play last year and was still 9-8 tied for first. This is a new year. We have addressed our needs. Thank you. Wild says, I really think Brian Bresee will develop into an all-pro. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, a lot of these guys simply need to step up, man. We definitely need to see something different from some of the, some of our young guys. Like, we talked about the old guys like, Demario Davis and Cam. But like I said, in 2 to 3 years, these guys are not going to be on the team anymore, fam. They're not going to be on the team anymore. So somebody got to do something, right? Real money. 2 or 3 years, Alvin Kamara is not going to be here. Demario Davis is going to be gone. Cam Jordan's going to be gone. Tyrann Mathieu is going to be gone. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be gone. What do the Saints look like in 2 to 3 years? Your window to win is now. Why you got all these people here? Your window to win is now. That's why a lot of people like myself was upset about the football that we've seen over the last couple of years, because the Saints were wasting away the window of all these talented players by just being sloppy and inconsistent. Wasting away the window, and just and just on like fundamental stuff that you can't win with, that professionals supposed to know. Like, you gotta make sure if guys don't do what they're supposed to do, you gotta handle your business. You gotta punish them, take them away from time, whatever the case may be. Take away, put somebody ahead of them, take away their playing time, whatever the case may be. You can't let guys just like not block, get away with it, false start, not be, no. That's what Elvin said. Elvin was like, man, they got guys with false starting in practice and nobody was saying nothing. How the hell you got that going on? And they're supposed to be a coach. You can't let guys just be making mistakes and not reprimanding them. You're hurting the team. And then it I told you, early on in the year, it looked like they wasn't practicing much. Like, you'll see wide receivers and the quarterback running and the quarterback throwing into a spot where the wide receiver wasn't, the wide receiver turn around with his hands like this. Like, you've seen that 2 to 3 times a game in the first 8-9 games. And I was like, what's going on here? Why are we seeing this late in the middle of the season, communication breakdowns between the quarterback and a wide receiver, and the quarterback and a tight end, quarterback and the running backs? Like 2 to 3 times or more per game. I'm like, what is going on? All those stalled drives. I remember all of them, all the stalled drives, all of the foolishness about why we can't do nothing in the red zone and Jimmy Graham sitting on the sideline, all of that. And the people asking week after week, hey, Dennis Allen, Wounded Possum, why is Jimmy Graham standing up there watching the game as opposed to in the game, in the red zone, catching touchdowns? Why? See what I'm saying? And then people don't remember that type of stuff, but I do. That's dumb. And that hurt the team early on. Well, Jimmy's waiting for his opportunity to play. What? Is he hurt? Oh, no, he's not hurt. And then many games he was a healthy and active. They scratched him. And they needed him. They were struggling in the red zone. That's just not intelligent, man. So, like I said, I am really happy that we got people that actually know about football, that's accountable and attention detail centered. We won't have these many issues anymore, because that was one of the things that stopped the team from winning, making bad football decisions, being slow on adjustments. That hurt the Saints a lot last year, and look like we don't have that to do. All right, Chase, Philip says Chase Young is going to make a huge difference. Yeah, you got to stay healthy. We'll see. Darkside said, can't wait for the Packers game because they got lucky. Jordan Love was playing like trash. I still can't believe. Yeah, man, I was watching that game and I was like, oh my God, you kind of sensed it. Because the game was evident. You could see the momentum switch. You could see it turn. And then the Saints couldn't do anything. When Derek Carr got hurt, everything was over with. I thought James is coming in, man. James is coming in. We'll get this game. James coming in. James comes in there. Couldn't get it. We couldn't stop the slide. The defense was letting them score. I'm like, man, because you seen what they were doing. It was building. It was very clear. It wasn't something like that surprised nobody. You seen the momentum shift. You seen it happening, and the Saints just washed right over them. They didn't do anything to stop it. You seen it happen, and I was like, man, I can't believe. One of the worst games of the year. That was one of the worst games. We had that team beat, and the Saints went out of there and let them people win the game. The Minnesota is like 3 games I really despised last year. The Green Bay Packers game was number 1. Number 2 was the Minnesota Vikings game. We should never have lost that game. They didn't have a starting quarterback. Jefferson was hurt. They had that kid that was a rocket scientist. Josh Dobbs was picked up or traded for or something. The trade period before came in there, started, and took the Saints apart. I'm like, what? That's not supposed to happen. So the Saints go into there was a bye week. The Saints go into the bye week after the Minnesota loss and get ready for Atlanta and turn around and lose to Atlanta. Those were the 3 games last year that I just absolutely was like, this team, here's something wrong with this team, man. Something wrong. Because number 1, where your pride at? Number 2, where your intelligence at? It was just ridiculous, man. Those games were, to me, some of the worst games. And I did the play-by-play on all the games, and those are the worst ones to me, man. We can't have that happen. I can't stand that, fam. I'm gonna have to turn. I would have to like literally turn the stream off. I can't see how I put up with it. All right, what's up, Neville? Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brother. All right, yeah. Philip is talking a lot of positive stuff. Philip, I'm with you, brother. I'm more power to you, brother. I'm hoping that we are, because like I said, I like the guys Dennis Allen picked up on offense. We need to just see how it works. You know, I like Clint Kubiak a lot. I think he's serious. I like Janoku. I like the offensive line coach, John Benton. I like the wide receiver coach, Coach Williams. I like the running backs coach that they picked up. The Saints basically flipped like 90% of their offense, their offensive assistants. Like Clancy Barone, the tight end coach, and it's like one of the only position coaches that stayed. I think everybody else was flipped. Yeah, everybody else was flipped. And you got Dennison, who was supposed to be like an offensive advisor or something like that. He comes from working with Gary Kubiak. That's somebody that Clint brung over. But yeah, they flipped. Like they flipped damn near the 90% of the damn staff. To be honest with you, it's a huge gamble, man. But I respect the hell out of it, man. I really do. I think the Saints did something positive with that. I think they did the right thing, fam. They had to. I think they're gonna be all right. Let me see if I can bring up the coaches staff right quick. Okay, let me bring up the coaches. Yeah, because they flipped most of these guys, man. Everybody basically that's here. Yeah, it's all new people. Everybody. Jari Evans stepped in for what was it? Zach Streif, I think it was. But you see there, you can see Kubiak. Clancy Barone was there the year before. John Benton's the new offensive coach. They got rid of Doug Marrone. You go to senior city, Rick Dennison, who worked with Gary Kubiak, Clint's father. Jari Evans, Derek Foster, who's a really good running backs coach. All these are new guys, man. Mike Martinez was here before. These are the assistants. The rest of these, Coach Williams, the wide receiver coach, yeah. But some of these other guys were here. But, yeah, they flipped like 90%, 85 to 90% of the Saints' offensive run. You know, they flipped these guys. You know. We'll see, man. All right, man. Let's keep it going, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if y'all listen, man. I'm just looking at this schedule, man, and saying to myself, we'll see how it all works going forward. But the black and gold, man, how do y'all feel about the Saints, man? How do y'all feel? You think with camp approaching, how do y'all guys feel? All right, we're going to bring in Brother Byron, man. Brother Byron, if y'all won't pop in, man, I'm not going to be going too much longer. I'm probably in the stream around about 10:30, but y'all won't pop in. Y'all better do it now. We got Brother Byron. Welcome on in, Brother Byron. How you doing, sir?
What's down? QQ. What's down? QQ.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro.
What you think about the black and gold there, Brother Byron?
Hey. I like the way how we doing. Gonna all season. You know, made some good moves. The draft. Signed some guys. Free to see guys. But I want to talk about the roster and the schedule. Now, it's a good schedule, but I think it's some team played 2 years ago, and it's a solid upcoming season. But I think it could be anyone. But I think we're not from these first.
Yeah, I see a lot of this stuff dealt with the black and gold, man. This schedule is gonna be really interesting to see how they deal with that, Byron. It's like I said, looking at it, man, it puts pressure on the Saints, that training camp, man. They're gonna have to hit the ground running, man, because
For sure.
like I said, the first 5 games, man, and even if you go past the first 5 games, you start talking about Tampa Bay, which Tampa Bay is they're not gonna be a pushover either. That's gonna be 2 games at home, and then Sean Payton with a short weekend on Thursday Night Football. So that's another thing.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know about this. The Tampa Bay game, we always play them though. That's a rivalry game, certain time but I think we can go ahead and take care of them. But the Carolina game, trap game, because I think the Carolina is in a rebuild when they got Bryce Young as a young quarterback, and he struggled last year after we took him in that Monday night game. But I don't see Carolina gonna come here, open up the season in our own territory on September 8th, because we're gonna take care of them more plain and simple, because they've been struggling the offense, and they're not playing as the team that they is though. And I think that they brought a new offensive coordinator as a head coach from Tampa. But I don't see that Carolina's going to be a trap game, because I think that game is going to be real more excited for us when we get as our fan base in that dome. It's gonna be electric, and I think we're going to take care of business and control our home dome against Carolina. And I think Carolina's going to go and get behind whooping. They're going to get a big old L on the head though.
Yeah, a lot of people was talking about the fact that we get Atlanta within a month of the games, but we have 2-headed rivals, Dallas and Atlanta, and their buildings should fire the Saints up early on. So some meaningful games early in the season, man, I'm for that.
Oh yeah, me too, no doubt about it. I think the Atlanta game, the Dirty Birds, I know a guy coming out in our show talking about, they're gonna win NFC South because they got Kirk Cousins. They don't mean shit, because Kirk Cousins didn't mean a damn thing. I think when he was with Minnesota, BQ, and we played him since a couple of years ago, since that Christmas Day in 2020, we took care of business in that game when we had this home game here, and AK-41 went off against Minnesota Vikings when they scored 6 touchdowns against Minnesota in that game. But Kirk Cousins is not more as a difficult for us, though. I think the problem with Kirk Cousins is his health, and he's getting up the age. Though they pay him all that money that they paid Derek Carr last year. I don't see that Kirk Cousins gonna play the way he did in Minnesota when he had the injury last year. I think they come up the torn Achilles. That's gonna hold him a setback for him into the season though. We don't know how Kirk Cousins gonna look like for the Atlanta team though, in their own standards. But I think that the Dirty Birds don't have no chance at all to go toe to toe, even though it's another division rivalry game too though. But my point is that we're gonna take care of business anyway. Go between Tampa and the Dirty Birds more than anybody in the whole entire NFC, including the Dallas Cowgirls and Philadelphia.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Kirk Cousins, man. But he's
a bum. I think look. Let me tell you this though, Q. Straight up, no defense. I'm gonna be reasonable with you. Kirk Cousins, he's okay though, but he's not as playing as style football we saw in the playoffs that he struggled more in the season that he put everything, in form. So I don't see that he's gonna develop the team for Atlanta, because Atlanta, they're in a difficult situation with them and their team and their roster on pace when they had a head coach with Raheem Morris. Now I know Raheem Morris because I know him for a long time though, when he's with Atlanta before he went to the Rams. But now it's a difficult mode though for Atlanta with Kirk Cousins. And I don't see Kirk Cousins going to develop that offense with the guys like B.J. Robinson and London and Pitts, guys. I don't see that they're going to do what they're going to do, what we did to the Dirty Birds last year, what we did before a couple of years. So when Kirk Cousins is in a different different, situation right now with that team, I don't see he's going to transform more than he had the injury he had last season, probably come up to torn Achilles.
You know what, Byron? I kind of see Kirk Cousins. I pull up his record against the Saints. He's 2-3 in regular season, and he has that playoff victory. So overall, he's 3-3.
Yeah, so, but I'm saying, but remember the couple years in the playoffs? I'm saying when he was with Minnesota, he struggled in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Right. I get what you're saying. I'm just
I'm just letting you know, because I'm not saying that he is the good quarterback. I'm just saying that he struggled in the playoffs as a Minnesota Vikings before he went to Atlanta.
Right.
But I know that. But I hear what you're saying, though. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to be against you. I just think when I'm looking at it is, though, from Kirk Cousins' career, though, for Minnesota, he put up big numbers, but I'm saying it comes to the playoffs, he was not that guy.
Right, he falls apart. I get what you're saying.
Fall, like tear, like collapse, like split to split. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm just saying. I'm not making no excuses, though. I'm just making it as a detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just putting it as information.
No, that's fine, Byron. I get what you're saying, brother. I just think that a lot of the stuff that was going on with Atlanta, and they feel a lot of people feel like with Atlanta getting Kirk Cousins, and they can keep him healthy and upright back behind the line. They got a pretty decent offensive line with all those weapons. They might be able to improve upon the 7-win total they had last year, which is not improbable. So like I said, with this, that's why I got the schedule on tap. Is that by week 10 we'll be done with the Falcons?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right, but I just think that. Yeah, right. But my explain is that the Atlanta fans was not satisfied to get Kirk Cousins because they drafted their quarterback Michael Penix out of Washington. So we know for the fact that the Atlanta fans was not on board after they signed Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying is because I know Atlanta fans gonna get a quarterback because Michael Penix is more like a second round pick, not a first round.
Well, different people had them marks. Some people had them.
Well, maybe late in the first round, but not early first round.
Right. A lot of people had them marked as a early second round or like a second rounder. But when they had a run on those quarterbacks, and you seen guys like the kid from Oregon go off the board and all that. Everybody went on a little run there, and then another quarterback wasn't taken till when the Saints took Spencer Rattler way in the 5th round. So yeah, they a little run on him, and I think Penning is the guy. He's a older player, but he's a guy that he got a lot of potential.
Right, and that's why I was like when I heard the reaction from Atlanta, responding when they drafted Michael Penix, they were like, "Why we gotta get another quarterback and we got a older veteran on a 4-year deal with all that money though?" I mean, it don't make no sense for me though, because I mean, I'm not saying that it was a good idea for the Atlanta fans. I think they was pissed off when they drafted another quarterback in their own hands though. After they signed Kirk Cousins, that's why I was like, okay, I was not surprised though when I saw the draft though. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, it was a shock for the Atlanta fans, and they're like, oh, what the hell we drafted another quarterback? Okay, because I know because Michael Penix is getting older. He's like 24 years old, something like that. So he ain't gonna see the field next about 3 more years.
Well, it depends because it's taking a quarterback. You give him $180 million to Cousins, and then you have Michael Penix. You take in the 1st round. What if something happens to Cousins and he gets hurt again?
Lord have mercy.
Then they fallback option was Heineke. So they went with a quarterback. Like they had to brace. They wasn't going to put all that on Kirk Cousins, man. Before they
had Desmond Ridder a couple years ago when they drafted him.
Yeah, he fell apart last year. I was expecting him to do better than that. All of the turnovers, and he kind of walked himself out of that. But that's the thing that Atlanta is we have to deal with. But there's others. You got Carolina. They got their guy in Canales, who is doing a really good job with what's going on with their quarterback out there. So Bryce Young, we'll see exactly what's going on. So a lot of like I said, man, the NFC South, even though we're seeing them as the veteran team, Man, a lot of these teams are much improved than what they were last year, and they coming for the NFC South. We got to represent. Bottom line.
Yeah, but I just think the way everything going so far that we still control just the way we're gonna be in our own, perhaps. But I think we're gonna win the NFC South division, no doubt about it. But I don't think between Carolina, because like I said, Carolina, they're not gonna be as capable to be as a better team they're trying to be from last year than was all the year they've been worse. But I'm not hating on Carolina though. Is that when we play Carolina every time though, Q, is that the offense was a letdown. And do we know for the fact that we could go toe to toe against them though? But now they add Bryce Young to the mix as their quarterback. We took care of him lick to lick last season. But when you brought a new head coach, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a new staff, okay, with a young QB, how that's gonna play out though? You know what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of coaches change from team to team. But this is gonna be the first time for the new head coach for Carolina with Bryce Young. But it's gonna take more as a process leading towards into the season. So I think that's why I say it's not gonna be a trap game come September the 8th down here in the Dome. Because we know for the full is that the Carolina don't have a chance to go against us. But I know other teams we gotta face though. That's all the bottom line I'm looking at right. Like the Kansas City game. That's what I'm looking at right there on October the 7th, the Monday night game. With Patrick Mahomes in their building. That's the game I'm looking at right there. Everybody else, Philadelphia, the Dallas Cowgirls with Dak Prescott, they looking for Prescott. He trying to get a contract for his stitching. And the Cowgirls in a drama mode right now with Prescott, his contract, they not paying him a damn thing. So they got difficult situation going on in Dallas right now. So anywhere it goes, Q, I just think that between the schedule I'm looking at right now, with Sean Payne come back home, that Thursday night game, we can take care of the Denver Broncos. We got Washington, the Monday night game, got Green Bay in the rematch that we should have beat their ass last year, but I was pissed off about that though. But the other teams, we can go ahead and handle them plain and simple.
Yeah, they gotta, but that's the thing, man. Which we gotta show up, even with the
and that's all we gotta do. That's all we gotta do, bro.
We gotta show up, bro.
And I was telling my auntie about this last month, and she said the same thing. She said we gotta have a better year though.
Yeah.
And I told her we gotta have a good season though. We gotta have a good season though, man. No excuses about that, because the Super Bowl's in the Warrens right now. If the Saints want to have the home field advantage in our territory, Q, we got to take care of business into the season, though. That's the way it's going to be. I don't hear no about Denzel can't do shit, can't do a damn thing. Denzel is his final opportunity as a head coach to get this thing, turn things around, though, bro. Because I'm going to tell you why. If you don't get this thing quick and fast, Q, you in some buzz in that front office, and there's going to be some fire going right down the map.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I heard Denzel in his press conference since OTAs and man tournament camp 2 months ago. He came up with some good words about accountable, attention, and details. If you said on three things like that, Denzel, hopefully you can be more better as a head coach than you was 2 years ago. But if not, your ass out of here, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely we gonna see something real fast too. We're gonna see something real fast, man. Carolina opening up, Cowboys, Eagles, Atlanta, Kansas City, and then Tampa, and then Sean Payton in week number 7. Yeah, the schedule, man, is very exciting early on, man.
It's a back-to-back easy schedule we had though, man, for the second straight. And I just think that if you want to take care of these games into the season, those things, you need to control everything one by one, though, bro. Start with Carolina first at home, and see how it's gonna go right down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to hear about they have a slow start again. Yeah, the Saints they can't get things going, and then all deja vu all over again. No, enough of that bullshit. The Saints need to take care of what they do this year, though, Saints. I'm not playing around, though, bro. And I know Who That Nation now is going to be like they're going to figure what's going on this going back and forth. The Saints need to do what they do to get the job done, Q. It start with training camp this Tuesday. Come on, have my eyes on the battle competition. And the preseason start next month on the 10th against Arizona when they go out west. But the Saints need to do what they do. We have a successful season this year, man, 2024. That's all there's to it, bro. If they could go ahead and do what they do, this schedule we're looking at right now in our face, take one game at a time.
Yeah.
That's all this, huh?
That's right.
One game at a time. Take care of one game first. That's in the Superdome. September 8th against Carolina. And let's see how it's going to play out rest into, on and on. But I want to look at the Carolina game first. But like I said, we got training camp in 4 days. Let's see how the battle competition play out and see how it's going to go once the roster cut downs and see how the roster's going to look like for into the season. Because like I said, it's going to be some lot of decisions to make, boy. And you're not going to keep all of the guys, though, bro. And I know Dan's going to have a whole lot of play on his plate, though, and what guys he want, what guys he don't want. But you got to know if you want to have playmakers, you got to go ball out.
Yeah.
You got to ball out. And we know that Derek Carr needs to stop staring down. Look at him say, staring down one inch, sticking the whole high half field. Look at your eyes. You got both eyes, Derek Carr. Use to your vision the whole field, bro. You see one person, look at everybody on your damn offense.
Mm-hmm.
And stop holding that damn ball too damn long. You're going to have protection. The O-line going to keep you upright in the pocket. But something cute? We never see Derek Carr move out the offense too much like he used to, though. Like, he didn't move out the pocket like he used to was. I need Derek Carr to move out the pocket a lot more, though. He could get some yards, maybe 10 yards at least, something like that, but not too much. But if he could get himself going like he did late in the season in 2023, I want him transform in 2024, though. If he could do that, though, I think Derek Carr have a breakout year for the Black Gold Nation this season and play his style football. You got, like I said, you got Andrew Janoko and Kubiak gonna call the plays. Derek Carr needs to get himself way more upper the level. If he can get that done, Q, I don't hear no complaints about it.
Indeed. Well, Byron, listen, man, thank you for chiming in as always, man. Much love to you, brother. We appreciate your fire and always bringing it, man. Much love and appreciate it, brother.
Man, Q, anytime, bro. Appreciate you, dog, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing ASAP, bro.
That's right. That's right, Byron. All right, brother. Who that? Peace.
Who that for life?
That's brother Byron, man. Always bringing it, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Give brother Byron a thumbs up, man. He was always bringing the fire. Speaking about bringing the fire, we got another old schooler, the OG himself is in the building. OG Jerry. What's happening?
The godfather of the Who Dat Nation, Big Q.
How you doing, OG?
I'm doing good, man. How about
yourself?
You,
man? Good, man. Good to talk to you. Good to hear from you, OG.
Yeah, man. It's been a while, man. I know it's been a while for Byron. Shout out to my guy Byron because it's been a while since I talked to him. So
right, yeah, Byron. Always good to hear from Byron. That's how I know his football season is on the way. That OG Byron is already fired up in mid-season form.
I think Byron went from a hurricane to a tsunami or something because he done graduated from being a hurricane.
Yeah, Byron mid-season form, man. We ain't get to the training camp yet. He ready. But what you think?
He about ready to go just like I am.
That's right. That's right. What you think, OG? What you think about the squad, man? What you think will happen?
Well, first off, shouts out to the Who Dat Nation. I hope everybody's doing good. I know y'all ready, just like I am, with training camp and the season, which starts next month or September. But Q, I'm looking at these camp battles right now, man, because it's gonna be very, very interesting. Starts off with the cornerbacks, the linebackers. I mean, it's gonna be wild, bro. It's gonna be crazy. I can feel it right now.
What's your favorite, OG? What's the favorite one you're looking at?
Right now, I'm looking at that secondary because you got Kool-Aid, you got Adebo, you got Taylor, you got Lattimore. I mean, you got Howden, Abram. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to get that starting job. And I know I already heard about Ramczyk being out for the season. That's another battle I'm looking at is the offensive line. But now we got that big guy, Fuaga, from Oregon State. I heard good things about him. And I think Dolph Jack talked about him on his platform, how fast his feet is and how he get around to protect the quarterback and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And looking at these young guys that's going to step up, with Ramczyk being out. Somebody got to step up and take that role. It don't matter if it's Penning or Ruiz or Fuaga. I mean, whoever can do that front, we're very good. They're going to be all right. Because I can see Kubiak changing a whole lot of stuff with this offense.
Right.
Think about it, Big Q. The last time we seen the Saints team be this dominant was around like 2017 or 2011 or whatever year it was. The last two, it's just been like no changes. But see, now you got Kubiak, and he's going to do a lot more than that Sneaky Pete did when he was with us. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting too. Pete Carmichael, man, what a disappointment. Yeah, Sneaky Pete, what a disappointment. But totally adverse is Clint Kubiak, younger guy, serious, attention to detail, focus. Saints have the weapons, they have the personnel to thrive in that system. It's just how fast the guys pick it up. Kubiak spoke about laying the system down in phases,
right? And
some of that starts in this upcoming training camp. So a lot of the Saints, like I said, it's not a ramp up period. Like going into the season, the Saints, the Carolina game, a lot of people kind of saying the Saints going to get that. We need to establish ourselves in terms of our mindset of what we're going to do with Carolina and then move forward. Because a lot of the stuff that we will see in training camp, man, we got to get through that thing healthy. We know that we probably ain't going to see a lot of the starters in these preseason games. We see maybe the first quarter or so, maybe if we're lucky, 2 quarters of it, maybe a quarter of it in the first preseason game. And then it's all backups for the rest of the couple of games. And then ultimately, they lead into the season. So I don't expect things to be sharp, but I do expect the Saints to they're going to have to win and learn. This is the bottom line. The schedule doesn't give him any favor.
That's true, Q. Because I got news for you. And Who Dat Nation, hear me real good. They better not lose to Carolina coming in on week 1, because I swear, Big Q, if the Saints lose the home opener to Carolina to start 0-1, boy, we're gonna have a rough time getting everything back in order. Because I love my Saints, Big Q. I love my Who Dat Nation, but I'll be damned if we lose to Carolina. We're gonna definitely gonna have some Q&A after that game is over. So we better start 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. I agree, OG. Because like I said, I think a lot of these games are definitely winnable because a lot of these teams won't be in mid-season form. I think the Atlanta and Dallas games in the first month of the season kind of get our blood boiling because that's 2 of our hated rivals. So I'm like, right. And like I said, we get rid of Atlanta by week number 10. So we'll be done with them, and that'll be pretty interesting to see. Matter of fact, we'll be done with everybody except for Tampa Bay. We by weeks number 10, we'll be done with both games against Carolina. We'll be done with both Atlanta games. We'll have already played Tampa Bay, and we'll have Tampa Bay to finish out as the final game of the season. So
Right.
the NFC South, man, will be done in terms of those other guys by week number 10. So that's really interesting too, a part of the schedule. So that'll be pretty cool. See how it all goes.
Absolutely cool. That's absolutely Big Q. But the main thing in my mind, Big Q, if the Saints start off with 5-2, I'm talking about 5 wins or 2 losses, or 4 wins or 3 losses to open up the season. Because look who you got. Because you got Carolina, you got at Dallas, you got Philadelphia, you got at Atlanta. Kansas City, that's going to be tough right there on Monday Night Football. And you got Tampa Bay coming in town, and you got Denver and the return of Sean Payton coming in town. So Q, if the Saints start 5-2, 5 wins and 2 losses, or 4 wins and 3 losses, I'm good. I mean, that's what I see, Q.
All right, yeah, that's there you go, OG. That's the thing. I like the 4-2, but that 4-3 I wouldn't be mad because you're still a game ahead of you're still a game ahead of before all that other stuff happens. But I would like to see hopefully not them just kind of struggle through this thing, like we actually we able to kind of build up a little streak here head forward. But as long as it's not to the opposite, I guess 4-3 and 5-2 is pretty good as long as it's not heading the opposite direction. Like you sit up there 1-4 or something like that. I think that would be problematic big time.
Absolutely, Q.
Yeah, OG, but listen, man. Thank you for chiming in, my brother, and dropping some game. It's good to talk to you, man. I know I ain't talked to you in a good bit, bro, but it's always good to hear from you, OG. Always in the chat representing. I'm gonna give you the last word on it, my friend, before we kind of get ready to roll.
Look, Big Q, appreciate you like always having me on. It's good to talk to you. Like I said, yeah, it's been a while, but I'm still going strong.
That's good, OG, man.
Still going strong. Let's just see what we can do this season. And most of y'all know or didn't know or will know. Yes, in June, yes, I did celebrate my 40th birthday on that day. So I'm thankful. And me being in the 40 club as a rookie, I got a lot to learn.
Well, yeah, that's what's up, though, OG. Congratulations and happy belated birthdays to you, my brother. Thank you for chiming in. And who that to you, OG?
Who that? Let's get it.
That's OG, man. Shout out to Jerry, man. All right, so we're gonna get ready to leave the stream, man. Let me, brother Byron, let me let him pop in right quick for a few minutes.
Yeah, Q, I didn't get a chance to ask you the other question before I left off, but I want to know, are you curious about anything like possible into training camp, like once the battle competition goes? What do you see? Who is your guy you want to see in training camp that's gonna make this roster, and how that's gonna be like? It's gonna affect other guys that don't make the roster.
I mean, it's a bunch of guys that I kind of hoping, like, I guess the top guy would be like from the linebacker position be Willie Gay Jr. I really want Willie to kind of take that position. No disrespect to Pete Werner, I just think his speed and his aggression next to Demario Davis helps the Saints defense big time because he covers so much field. He can blitz, he can drop into coverage, he can cover tight end. So I want Willie Gay there, and I think Willie will get the position, and Pete Werner slides down to 3, which empowers our reserves. That's number one. Jordan Howden, I would love to see what Jordan Howden is at in terms of him from the safety position, because he was the guy that played well enough for the Saints to say "Hasta la vista" to Marcus May. So Jordan Howden. Now Jonathan Abrams has been really stepping up and showing, and that they're showing that they liking what Jonathan Abrams doing. I think the knock against Jonathan Abrams is that I always like Jonathan Abrams. You take your head off. Yeah, he'd seek, but his coverage game, that's a whole nother thing. They've been saying that he's been working on that and getting better with his coverage game. So the Saints might have something right there. Plus, he's a veteran a lot. So that's another guy. Defensive wide receiver wise. I mean, from the offensive standpoint, I know most people don't talk about it, but the fullback position, I would love to see Xander Horvath take that position, Prentice, because I think we need a more versatile fullback, a guy that add some value to that to the running room. You know, you can give him the ball, he can catch the ball out the backfield. You can use him in different ways, as opposed to we have a standard traditional fullback like Adam Prentice. I think that's having a guy like that, plus the Taysom Hill factor is probably the biggest thing overlooming the team is the Taysom Hill factor. What is Taysom Hill going to do? Is he going to be a running back? Is he going to still have quarterback duties? What does Taysom Hill look like? And I think that's the thing that a lot of people are looking at, because Taysom is a part of the running back room too. He could be used in different ways. In the system, a lot of people kind of thought that Clint Kubiak was trying to make Taysom Hill like use check. So that's also something to watch out for, is Taysom use check. So we're gonna see how it all shakes and burrows, but that's some of the commentaries that I was thinking when I looked at the roster. Shout out to my dog Big Low, says y'all don't be making no excuses. And Jerry, what in the world, Bo? And the super chat. That's a Superman shit.
Yeah, but I you saying, Q. I think the reason why I brought that question up, because I think that, you know, these guys, I never heard more. I know all these guys that, you know, been on this team for so long. And to my point is that I need to see a lot more to use Taysom in this offense. You know what I'm saying? Because last year and the year before, we didn't see Taysom that much on the field, though. But if Clint Kubiak could get Taysom motion, like, you know, like, because his offense is gonna be different with Kubiak, I think I need to see Taysom utilized in the offense that we're gonna run this year in the season. You know what I'm saying? Because his snaps, he get a lot of snaps, but not like he used to get snaps, like double snaps. So if Kubiak could get Taysom more involved in the offense, more in that running game, because the running game was lacking, though. And that's the reason why I say we need to start running the football a lot more, though, often. Because you got AK-41, you got Jamal Williams and Kendrick Miller. And I hope Kendrick Miller can stay healthy. But the bottom line is that we need this offense to be more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because you got skill players with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, and you add Cedric Wilson and Stanley Morgan. But if the offense need to be on the core, that means they got to be on the same page. Derek Carr got to see more his receivers, more than, you know, the ball out the backfield with the running backs, the tight ends and everything, get the motion going and everything. We're going to see all that stuff into training camp more than the season. But the reality, I just think that the goal is that the offense got to start not start struggling too much, though. You know what I'm saying? If they can stop struggling, though, we can see more points in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Because they struggled late last year. They struggled because that was awful. You know what I'm saying? So if they could get that cleaned up this year, though, then that'd be perfect. But I think that the point of where that the offense be more better, and the offensive line got to be more better up front too, anywhere it goes. So that's why I'm just looking at training camp when I brought that question about who are the battles you're looking at and who the guy you like and what guy you just don't know too much anything, you know, quality of. But I like that Willie Gay. I like what's that guy we signed in the free agency? Shit. Damn. I know all these guys.
Wide receiver?
No, on defense beside Willie Gay. We signed a defense. Oh, Will Harris. Will Harris. I like Will Harris sign. I like the pickup from Will Harris. That was a good move. The Saints got him. But the secondary, you got Lattimore and Odebo in that back end with Honey Badger. Now you add Willie Harris to the mix. Do you see Willie Harris going to win that starting job, but behind the other corner like Lattimore and Odebo, or you just see that he could play as a backup?
I don't think Willie Harris plays at the corner position unless injury hits. The Saints are deep at the corner position. I think Willie Harris is like a utility knife for him. They like his versatility. He could play corner or safety for him. So I mean, I think that probably his value is for Willie Harris. Also, very solid signing to get Willie Harris. Yeah, it was a good. Yeah.
So I think so. You think you see him more as a safety, not a corner?
Well, they deep at safety right now. Like I mean, at corner. Excuse me. With Lattimore.
Yeah. Or he could just play like a nickel dime. You know, like as a.
Right, but that's his when they sign him, man. If you look at his docket, man, he could play. He could play all over the secondary, man. That's one of the things.
Yeah, for sure.
They got him for a good rate too. They got him as a good rate. So yeah, absolutely, man. Willie Harris was a solid move that he could play either corner or safety. But I think right now they see him mostly as a safety right now. That if injuries hit the impacted the cornerback room, they can use him in that capacity. True. So
yeah, because see that's what I was saying. Because if we know he's the cornerback, Q, like you say, he can play safety. He said himself in the interview. He said he can play safety and corner.
Yes.
So anywhere it goes, you got Alontae Taylor plays a nickel. More you got Lattimore play the left side and Odebo play the right side. But if they want to put Will Harris as a dime package, more you got McKinstry that we drafted in the second round.
Right.
I can see how they could just going to slide, Harris, in the second string as a secondary, which McKinstry more than the other guy like Joe Howden and
Right. Yeah, that's the idea because the safety position gets really thin. Like if injuries impact the secondary, I mean, Jonathan Abrams done a good job. He earned another contract with the Saints 1 year.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. I like Jonathan Abrams.
Jordan Howden's going into his sophomore season, so we're gonna expect the safety to kind of struggle a bit. But he has a lot of talent. And then if you go behind them, it gets really thin. You got JT Gray, who is awesome special teams player, but in terms of a safety, he needs work. And then that's why you got Willie Harris and the Saints. Usually, you have a guy like that can play either safety or corner. That guy finds his on the active roster. So, I mean, that's the thing. So, like I say, it gets thin. If injuries impact the secondary room, it gets thin really quick. So, Willie Harris there is a big help.
Yeah, and I think that's why he was a huge pickup because I think that was a good signing that the Saints had grabbed him in the free agency because after, like I say, when he was come off the list after we signed with Willie Gay, I knew that the defense going to be the defense as a unit, and that they're still going to be dominate every single year or two. But that's when we add more depth to the roster of the secondary behind that. So anywhere it is, I think that the defense going to push everything to their level. When you have skills like that, that's how you add more depth, and that's how you put things around the pieces. More like the offense, I was saying, when the offense comes right there, the defense right behind that. So if the offense do everything they do their part, then the defense going to carry the load with it. So that's why you're on the same page as a team, as a face by face. But I think the way that the offense is going to be more as capable of to put more points on the board, so you ain't got to worry about kicking field goals because field goals ain't going to solve it. If the offense they do their job the way they got to do things handle, then I don't see the offense going to be as a setback. But they got to get things going with Derek Carr. If Derek Carr get himself more informed and be as his job and do his duties, though, then I think we're going to have a successful season, though, Q. And I think that's why I think that the season is going to look more epic by looking at the schedule. But I think we just got to go out there and get everything, beat this team in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's a philosophy. If they can establish that, because we don't expect them. Well, we're not asking for perfection, just full effort.
No. You gotta have knowledge. You gotta have a mindset. You gotta have a brain, and you gotta have a generation more as a motivation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta grind and pound and pound. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a heart to heart. If you're gonna have something that's gonna take things way to the promised land, you gotta lean towards that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the Saints need to do, though, Q. And I don't want to think it's gonna be like a letdown and melting everything if they don't do everything they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I just want the Saints to go out there and do what they had to get things out of the way from a couple of years ago. But I just want to have a success and succeed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want them to be more better though as a team though in the standards. So that's what they got to go and focus on that though, Q. But I think that we're going to hit in the right direction. I'm looking forward to this bright year we're going to have 2024. Like I say, training camp starting in 4 days. I'm looking forward to this battle. Like I say, the competition. I'm gonna have my eyes on these guys. I'm gonna see how they're gonna do what they're gonna do on the field because we got 24 practice leading up to this month and next month before we start preseason game and everything. But I just want to see how this gonna go by go. You know what I'm saying? Roll flow.
Right. Oh yeah. No, you speaking a word, man. I agree with you. I think our next one, our first preseason game is August the 10th, man. So we gotta wait.
Yeah, Arizona Cardinals. So that's gonna be a 7 o'clock game. And like I said, we're gonna be out there out west till the 49er game before we come back home because we gotta go to Tulane in practice on the 20th next month. So we got a lot of stuff to do next couple of days into training camp out this month, and I'm looking forward because it's gonna be hot in California though, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's a break away from the norm down here. With I know they're gonna have their heat up there, but I mean that's what we have down here. That's a whole nother level, man. So I'm pretty sure they're happy to have that little break to go up to California and practice, man, to come back. But yeah, they'll be away for a while.
Yeah, it's a nice weather out there because I ain't been in California before, but it's a nice weather out there because but I know it get hot down here, like not too much though. But in California, daily it's like more 105 out, 105 degrees out there, more like 99 down here. So it's a different temperature between up there and down here though. But we know how we can't do it. We got this hot little heat though. It's a summertime. Yeah. So we know we gotta stay hydrated, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep myself inside a lot though, because I don't want to be in that sun too much though, you know, because it get in your eyes and block your piss out. So but I'm looking so excited though, Q. I think the Who Dat Nation, my family, you know, we pumped up for this year. I think we're just gonna have a fantastic season, and I see how we're gonna climb everything to the chart.
Indeed, Byron. Appreciate you chiming in, man. I share that sentiment, brother. You have a good night, brother. I'm gonna talk to you on the next stream here, bro.
Talk next time, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. And Q, you know, look, I want to tell you that I want to say that this though, but we know we always keep charity on the loop though, bro. We know we as a Who Dat Nation, we know we're the Black and Gold Nation for life. You know how we do cover shows on our team and everything, how we represent. Right. But we all do diehard Saints fans, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we all gonna, you know, cover, you know, topics and everything every day. Sometimes we don't get in the shows, but we do shows a lot though. But that's how we are as a fan base, you know what I'm saying? We know how we represent as a culture, the organization, as a plan we are, how we, you know, we just gonna keep everything roll, you know what I'm saying? So just want to big up to you. And I love my Who Dat family and everything. And wishing late happy birthdays to my boy Jerry and everything, 40 years old, bro. Keep on enjoying your life though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you deserve it though, bro. And I just think that, you know, we're getting up everything, and everything, you know what I'm saying? So all the toe.
All right, straight up, bro. I share that sentiment, OG, man, making the 40-40 club. Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm getting up age too, though. Q, I'm 36 years old, but you know I'm getting up there though, right behind Jerry.
You chasing Jerry, but you gonna get there.
I'm not trying to chase him, but I'm trying to get like go towards Jerry like his age, but I'm getting up there though, bro. You know, we all get up there though, you know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful and blessed for myself, you know what I'm saying? I just think that, you know, God always provide, and then I'm just more grateful and everything, you know, and glory to him, you know what I'm saying, and turn things around for me. And I think that's more blessing me, and I just cherish that.
Indeed, bro. Yeah, same here, man. But Byron, thank you, man. You have a good night, brother, and we'll talk later. Who dat to you, brother? Thank you.
Who dat to you for life, BQ. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother. That's brother Byron, man. Always chopping up some game. Good game, man. OG, shout out to you. Good to see some of the family members. Shout out to my brother, Big Low in the building. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. Good to see you, my brother. T Dirty. What's up, T Dirty, baby? Shout out to my dog T Dirty. Brother Booker's in this thing. Pelicans Nola. Good to see y'all, man. Chopping it up with the fam tonight, man. Listen, man. Thank you, Dark Side. The Dark Side been putting in a lot of good comments in there. Julius, I see you, fam. Shout out to you too as well. Hey, man, listen. Yeah, we had almost 3 hours, man. We kind of a surprise stream tonight, man, talking about the black and gold, man, just looking at all the stuff that's been popping and snapping with the team, man, as we getting ready to fire up another year. And this is the year of truth right here. This is the season of truth for the Saints. Dennis Allen, the squad, they're going to have to bring it. They're going to have to represent. And like I said, I got this schedule up here, man, because I was looking at it, I was like, man, they didn't do us no favors. We got to hit the ground running. We can't go into falling into any potholes or none of that kind of stuff, because we got some serious teams, man, we need to take on. Like I've said before, they're not going to be in mid-season form, but still in all, when you got rival matchups against the Cowboys and the Falcons and a couple of contenders and the Eagles and the Chiefs mixed up in there, not to mention Tampa Bay. Don't sleep on Tampa, and then Sean Payton on the short week. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very vibrant season early on. And then as it kind of tailors off in the end, you got matchups against the Chargers with Harbaugh over there. So they got Herbert there. That won't be an easy matchup. So the Saints, the Cleveland game before the bye week is going to be something to watch out for. And we got a couple of lighter games with Washington and New York on the back end, Las Vegas, and a revenge matchup against Green Bay, going up to Green Bay in the cold. So if the Saints can take care of business early, man, maybe we can kind of, do we need to do. But like I said, the Alvin Kamara thing needs to be fixed. We need to really kind of go into camp with a positive vibe. When I don't want to go into camp with a holdout looming over the top of our heads. We can't go into camp like that. Mickey, you got to get up all the snide, man. You got to get the Alvin Kamara situation done. We don't want to go into training camp with the Alvin Kamara situation hovering over our heads. We don't need that. We don't need none of those distractions coming up. So we need to have AK-41 in the building taken care of, because I'm telling y'all that if everything work out the way it's supposed to, he's going to have the best season of his career in this system. He really is. I just see like what Christian McCaffrey was able to get done. Man, I'm just like, man, Alvin Kamara, man, could do that. He can catch the ball, run. He can do what McCaffrey can do. He can do that. We just got to we need to get it together. All right. Shout out to you, OG. Appreciate you, man. All right. No cap, no filter says Adams on receiver was mad after the Raiders won the game because they won. Players know what's up. That's the whole thing. Okay. Context matters, competition. Thank you for that. No cap. But yeah, what's up, Ramsey? Shout out to you, man. Good. Oh yeah, bro. It's been a while, man. Good to see y'all, man. Here, man. Shout out to you, brother Ramsey. Good to see y'all, man. Like I said, fam, we're gonna, like I said, we're back. We're back. It's kind of a little off season, but then again, I'll be on my other streams, my boxing stuff. We got Ring Kings boxing. We got Tough Tiger Talk. The Tigers getting fired up again. I got a Tough Tiger Talk report coming out tomorrow. The Pelican post-game report with the Pels, man. The Pels been cutting up. All this stuff been going on, so we've been really on the Pel stuff. That reminds me, for my Pelican people, PPR in the morning will be on our Pelican stream tomorrow morning. For those, start your day off with some good diehard Pelican talk, man. So a lot of people be, getting their jog on, their exercise on, get their clean up on early Saturday morning while checking out PPR, man. So we'll be doing that tomorrow morning as well, just to let y'all know. But anyway, listen, I'm going to get out on that. Listen, I appreciate all you guys. And like I said, we back. We'll be doing some streams. Matter of fact, I'm going to pop back up here. I think it's Monday or so. We're going to have a report on that. We're going to talk about that. The Saints it's time, man. This is the year of truth. This is the third year. Dennis Allen is here. He has to get the team to the playoffs. The schedule is hard. It's going to be difficult early on, but we got to make the right steps. Mickey got to handle his business. He got to do his thing. Mickey can't be playing around. We got $12 million, I want to say, just according to Over the Cap. Saints just have just over $12 million right here that they're working with. And we'll see what Mickey and the team is doing to see if they can make an arrangement to get Alvin Kamara taken care of. A 2-year arrangement, man, is all we need. Like I said, we're toward the back end of this experiment insofar as guys like Cam and DeMario and Kamara, in 2 to 3 years, these guys not going to even be on the team. It's going to be a whole nother team. So we have to seize the day. We have to take advantage of all these talented players right now and make it pop. That's why. And like I said, I was kind of upset about the losing because it spoiled a lot of their years. Like you seen Demario Davis out there tearing it up, Tyrann Mathieu out there balling, and then it's all for nothing. It's all in losing efforts. This is ridiculous. We need to do what we got to do and get this team aimed in the right direction. It appears they are. We just have to see how it plays out, and we will be here to cover it. So anyway, man. All right, shout out to you. Good to see you, Reginald. He says, let's go. Reginald ready to play football right now. No Cap says, Q, if you had to choose, he said, if you had to choose, what you rather, 7-10 guarantees DA fired or 9-8 with playoff berth in a weak division and DA extended for more years? Well, I've said this before. This is an easy one, No Cap. I'll take the 9-8 with a playoff berth in a weak division with DA. See, and the thing is, I don't hate Dennis Allen. Like, I don't hate Dennis Allen. Like, okay, I want my team to lose, no, because I understand the window. See, I try to explain this to people sometimes because I know people don't like Dennis Allen because Dennis Allen did some stuff that made him unlikable. You know, he backstabs, he does weaselly stuff. So I get it. But in terms of like having my team be in the playoffs and I can stomach Dennis Allen if we're winning. Like if you're in the playoffs and you're winning and stuff like that, I can deal with that as long as we're winning. But never am I ever going to say that I would rather lose to fire Dennis Allen so that we can have another coach. I would no, because I know what that means. See, if we choose to lose, then that means Atlanta and my dog Big Low gonna be making fun of us that Atlanta swept the Saints or Carolina win or Tampa Bay. You see what I'm saying? And you have to deal with that. You got to deal with the Cowboys beating you and you losing to the Cowboys, and then they having bragging rights for you. So all that comes, you know, with some stuff that I don't want to deal with. You know, I really don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the Falcons beating the Saints or sweeping the Saints. Man, I don't want to deal with that because I won't hear the end of it. My dog Low going, you know, we swept y'all this year, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't want to deal with that. The Carolina stuff, I don't want to deal with the Tampa Bay stuff. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I don't want to deal with that, man. I really don't. So I can deal with Dennis Allen if we're winning, you see. And besides, like wanting him to lose, it destroys our window. Like we need to win right now because in 2 to 3 years from now, the Saints are basically a rebuilt team. They're going to have to restart all over again. And I don't understand people really know. I don't know if people understand how really different that is. Like we've been retooling. We've retooled. We haven't rebuilt or reset since after Katrina. Think about that. We had Drew Brees. We were fortunate to have Sean Payton and Drew Brees for all those years. And then when Drew got old, they just pivoted toward quarterbacks like Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston, journeyman quarterbacks that had a great deal of NFL experience. So we haven't reset anything since Katrina. That you see what I'm saying? So when you reset, it's a whole nother thing because you'll have then it corresponds with your rivals. Where are they at in their development? You know, because in that 2 to 3 year window, you're going to see a lot of young quarterbacks step into the NFC South. Who's going to outdo who? You have Bryce Young playing there. You know, he'll be getting a lot of minutes. The backup quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., has to sit behind Cousins for a couple of years based on if he gets hurt or not. Bryce Young is playing right now. So he'll be more advanced in terms of his experience and learning the kind of system that he's playing. And he's playing in the system that the guy is catering it for him versus what this other guy was doing last year, which was nonsense. And then Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield. He's been reborn in Tampa. I mean, he's found his confident self. And you found a franchise that not only that, but they paid him and they believe in Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield is a guy that coming in there and he gave him some confidence and he plays with confidence. So, you know, we got to watch out for that. That's why I'm big on taking advantage of the window. It's unfortunate we have Dennis Allen as a head coach, but we still have to take advantage of the window that we have with Cam and DeMario and Tyrann Mathieu, because these players are going to be gone. Kamara's going to be going in I think the extension should be like 2 years. In 2 years, he's going to be gone. So you got all like new people that have to step up and take the team over. You got a new quarterback situation. Carr's going to be out of here. So you're going to have a whole new QB situation that you're going to have to deal with. You know, how do you handle that? You know, it's just a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to say lose, because the lose kind of wastes away our window. It just creates a lot of stuff that I really don't really want to deal with, because I get it a lot. People are they're on the Twitters and all that kind of stuff. I trust me, the messages, I get them all, brother. I get them all, and I really don't want to deal with it. I'm just keeping it real. Thank you for your question, though. Ram says, "Hey Q, have anybody heard anything on Michael Thomas or Jarvis Landry?" I haven't heard. I mean, I remember Jarvis was getting a tryout for somebody. I think it was Jacksonville. Y'all correct me in the chat. I remember he was supposed to do like a tryout for Jacksonville some weeks back, but nothing really became of it. And nothing on Michael Thomas. A lot of rumorville stuff, but you know, I don't know if Michael Thomas is 100% healthy right now. That might be something that happens like when week 1 hits or something like that. If he, you think that Michael Thomas would have had a team by now, but it's just rumorville on Michael Thomas. I don't know if he's 100% right now, so we'll see. All right, thank you for that. All right. Also, No Cap says, I'm past another team bragging, right? I'm past. I just want the best. Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. I feel you on that. Thank you for that, man. Yeah. Well, that's true too. It depends, man. It's because when we talk, see, we wouldn't have, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna cut y'all loose. But listen, we wouldn't have a Dennis Allen if it wasn't for a Mickey Loomis, if it wasn't for a Dennis Lauscher, if it wasn't for a Gail Benson. You get what you see what I'm saying? Dennis Allen just doesn't happen to your team. You see what I'm saying? Dennis Allen didn't get any job requests. He didn't get anybody requesting him to head. Can we talk to you about a potential head coaching over here at the Arizona Cardinals or whatever? The Saints was the only team that was considering him as a head coach, and he was considered as a head coach because Sean Payton told Mickey Loomis that his heir apparent should be Dennis Allen. But you don't get a Dennis Allen if it's not for Mickey Loomis, who listened to Sean Payton when he should have made up his own call. But when you over rely on people and you don't use your own mind, then you don't have a fallback option. Then he totally hires them. They hide the contract from you. See, all this stuff it's ridiculous. The Pelicans do the same thing. They did the same thing with David Griffin, signed a secret extension last year and didn't report it until a day after the regular season ended. They signed that extension, Willie Green and him, signed them into an extension in late 2023 and didn't report it until the summer of 24. And then wouldn't even let the reporters, after they dropped it, they wouldn't even let them approach the subject. So this is the Pelicans, which is under the same ownership. That's the problem. And when you study the team like I study the team, to know who the personalities are, to know exactly what the faults are, the only thing you have to do is just listen to these people, and you'll find out quickly who's the problem and where the problem is. On the Saints side, the problem at the top is Mickey Loomis. Now you can say Gail is a person. Gail doesn't know football. She damn sure don't know basketball. She's just an ambassador. She's a Southern Belle. She walks around and smiles. She's an ambassador to the game. That's what Gail is. She know how to check their money books and check that bank account. Make sure them receipts are straight. She gets that. And Dennis Lauscher is a businessman. He's a damn good businessman, but he don't know shit on the field about football or on basketball about the court. He doesn't. Now, the Pelicans did shake up the decision makers a little bit on their side, and we've been promoting that for years. The Saints haven't, because they over-rely on Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis is the VP and the general manager. If you like Mickey, he's a good VP. Leave him to VP duties, but allow the general manager to be somebody else, and it probably would be Kai Harley, who's basically doing the same duties Mickey is doing, that some of those people are giving credit for is actually Kai Harley, who does the same stuff. He just doesn't have the title, which is unfair. But that's what I was saying. Even if it's an age thing, Mickey's obviously a man in his 60s. You can't, and he's the oldest running general manager in the NFL. Most certainly, at some point, somebody of good sense got to say, hey, yo, listen, you're the VP. Let's let that man right there, Kai Hartley, be the general manager. But he doesn't let that go because he loves the attention that a general manager gets. He can sit up there and talk to people about the team, and that's why he's there. But the game in many aspects is past him. That's why we'll say stuff. And anybody, whether you like it or not, if somebody's telling you facts and they're not just throwing out a bunch of gobbledygook and hatred at you, they're actually giving searing critique and telling you what the problem is and laying it out factually, you're supposed to listen to that, not sit up there and form an ignorant ass barrier to protect somebody that's not qualified as a head coach because you didn't do your research and who you was hiring. You just listened to Sean Payton. There was no way Mickey Loomis picked Dennis Allen because he felt he was the best candidate out of all the candidates that they interviewed. Majority of all those candidates are better head coaching prospects or people than Dennis Allen was. Dougie Peterson came in with a Super Bowl ring. Saints let him walk right on out the building. How was that? Dennis Allen doesn't have a Super Bowl ring and doesn't have nearly the resume as Dougie Peterson. But the Saints let him walk out the building. They set their goofy asses up there and talked to what's your guy name from Kansas? What's his name? Oh man, I forgot the man name from Kansas City who's with Washington right now. Set up there and talk to that man, Bieniemy. Set up there and talk to Bieniemy for 8 hours and then turn around and offer him the offensive coordinator position and then turn around and hire Dennis Allen. That was some BS. And the Saints should have been in that lawsuit when Flores sued those people because they were abusing the Rooney Rule. And he sued them along with several other black coaches. The Saints should have been in that lawsuit too. They wasn't. And I was like, why aren't they in that lawsuit? Because they did the same thing. Flores interviewed for the job and they turned around. Eric Bieniemy interviewed for 8 hours and they turned around and gave it to Dennis Allen. That was a dummy move. They was just doing that to clear the Rooney Rule, to get through it. He had no intentions of hiring anybody but Dennis Allen. And that's because Sean Payton told him to. You can't say his resume. Well, I like Dennis. Well, hold on now. Let me stop you right there. I heard everything you said. Yeah, it's a goddamn lie right there. I'll tell you something. Hold on. Let me get you together on that. Hold on. That's not true. I hired Dennis Allen because he was the right candidate. Then he was the right guy. I hired him. And I thought, and he's a good coach. He's Bill Belichick. He's Chuck Noll, and Nick Saban. I'm telling you, Dennis Allen's the man. You're wrong about him, Q. It's just crazy talk. Nothing substantive, nothing commonsensical. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He doesn't have the resume over those other guys. He didn't have the resume those other guys had, but he gets the job because of Sean Payton. Now, when you did that let me know that you're unqualified to be a player, a decision maker here. And the mere fact that he did that and Dennis Lauscher didn't pick up on it shows me a lot. Like I said, man, is the two people at the top of the team don't know enough about football to then correspond with the third guy who they over relying on. And it's just too much, man. And as long as you have a screwed up matrix like that, the team is only going to go far because Mickey Loomis, the game has passed Mickey Loomis by. He can sit up as a VP, but general manager, no. And then it's the same thing on the Pelicans with David Griffin sitting up here spewing all of this fanciful garbage rhetoric about sustainability. That dude sound like he need to go work for the UN with all that, man. Go over there and work for them people. Just a bunch of trash spewing out of his mouth. That don't make any sense. All this stuff about, he was a hot trade market for Brandon Ingram. It was hot. Everybody was calling me about Brandon Ingram. And then now it's like no trade market. What the hell happened? And then toward the back end of the conversation, he says, we really didn't want to trade him, which would explain why you didn't trade him, why you were passing up those trades. But will anybody except for me and you hold them to the fire from those organizations? The answer is no. The tickets will have to drop, stuff will have to drop for them to say, damn, these people mean business. They actually paying attention. Not enough people are paying attention that way. But this year, Dennis Allen understands the pressure. Like last year, they asked him, did you feel like he was coaching under pressure? No, because he was already reassured before the season ended that he was going to be the coach. And that was Mickey Loomis. Another bad decision. You got to let these guys coach under pressure to see if that's the key that gets them to the next level. Coaching under pressure. That forces you to change philosophies. That forces you to come out of your comfort zone and try something new. And as long as you are coddling these guys like this, that will be an issue. So that's what I'm saying. There would be no Dennis Allen if it wasn't for Mickey Loomis, if it wasn't for Dennis Lauscher, if it wasn't for Gail Benson. Those people deserve each other is what I'm saying. So that's my spiel. All right. GM Kev, what's going on, man? Yeah, I see you, bro. All right. But yeah, I'm just keeping it real with you, man. I studied these people back. This is my squad, man. These are my teams. You know, I cover these teams. I listen to everything they say. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's not hard to figure these people out, what they do or what they say. And that's what our current situation is with the Saints. But despite with the Saints, I think the Saints have an opportunity to win this season. I really do, because that the head coach finally sees that he needs accountability. He needs attention to detail. And this is something that I thought that a professional would already know, and that you need, not only you need that, but your guys have to have that. And he got serious guys that are good at that are serious about what they want to do and want to win. It's a good system, but you can't go far unless you make these guys accountable. If Derek Carr is staring this down, and like Byron said, he was staring this, that, and the third, it shows up on the film. It really does. If you watch the film, it shows up on the film. We do film work. We was doing film work every year after every game for Patreon. And it was like clockwork. The man was going over here, looking over here, and never looked over there. I was like, what? And then when he started to cycle through his progressions as the year moved forward, like I said, I'm gonna blame Derek Carr all the way. Like a lot when they was shooting him up with that painkiller, man, you could see it was a difference in his. Come on, the man said he took like 4 or 5 needles in his back from each side. They shoot him up over here, then shoot him up over there, shoot him up over here. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And they got a quarterback over there that's healthy. Why are you doing that to that man? You know, that's what I was saying about him. It was just a horrible situation, and all this crap about safety and player safety. Was that safe? Ain't no Ram knee was tore up. They've been knowing Ram's knee was tore up, man. You go back and reverse engineer the Ramczyk situation about his knee. They knew his knee was bad. That's why they didn't shift him from that left. Because I remember I was questioning. I was like, why the hell are they drafting Trevor Penning, a outright rookie? That's why I don't go hard in the paint against Penning, because the Saints did that to him. He wasn't supposed to be playing the left tackle position. You don't take a rant rate, you got to do it now because you ain't got no choice, because you just screwed up the man so bad. He basically got postpartum. He's traumatized from playing the left. And I said that before they started. They came out and said the same shit that I said before, they saying the same thing I said. And I said that shit weeks and months ago. And they came out and basically almost verbatim said what I said, used the same words. Isn't that a consequence? A coincidence? Whatever. I said you shouldn't do that. When they was doing it, I said that's the dumbest shit in the world. You gonna put that guy, a Stark Raven rookie, at the left side behind that to protect the quarterback blind side, and you got a guy you paying all that money to at the right side. Why is that going on? They knew then that he was that hurt. That's why they didn't move him at the time. They let him stay at the right tackle position because they was trying to protect Ramczyk. That's what the hell was going on. But then they couldn't keep it. The knee progressed and got worried to the point where you start seeing Ramczyk listed as rest days. And I'm like, we covering these reports from Wednesday to Friday. And I'm looking at it saying, why the hell is Ramczyk on this list for rest? And some of them would just say rest. Then later on, it started saying rest and knee, and then rest and something else. I was like, rest, what's going on here? Then after that, it started to progress, and then they had to admit it. Because the pain shots that was shooting in his knee, the numbing wasn't working. So they eventually had to come out with it. But I told you early on, see, I reversed engineered the shit. That's why they didn't move. And when they started pinning at they drafted them, pinning was supposed to be at the right side. It was supposed to shift Ram over there. But they didn't want to do it, try to protect him because of the knee. He couldn't do it. So they kept him on the right side. Man, and so, I mean, like I said, that was on the Saints doing that. That was on them. They should have been did something about this Ramczyk situation. That's what I'm saying about people that lead, that do stuff, that step up and handle their goddamn business, and people that wait all the way until it fall apart. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just it takes somebody. That's why you see teams, some of the good teams, they move a different way. They move with a different energy, a different vibe. You see teams that are constantly always making moves, adjusting, like Philly's always making trades or trying to do this, that, and the third. And they constantly stay in a state of motion trying to improve the team. They don't just go in the off season and bring a bunch of people in drafts, and then as the season starts, they stop doing anything. They stop making trades. They stop bringing people in. You get what I'm saying? It never stops. It don't stop in the end season, just like it is in the off. You got to continually keep an eye on your team. You got to constantly do evaluations. They're more important during the season than they are out of the season, because at the time games are being played, adjustments need to be made right away. And if you're slow on the draw, you're going to get beat by the other team. It's just as simple as that. But that's what I'm saying about people that's too comfortable. The Saints brass is too comfortable. Mickey Loomis never used the term comfortable before. We use pumping that here. Like, this dude's a fat cat. He's too comfortable. He started talking all kind of elitist. Only thing you need to do is take Mickey Loomis and set him next to Victor on the goddamn Titanic. And you can see him walking next to him. Well, how you doing here, Vic? What you got? Yeah, you got some really luxurious cheese? Yeah. That type of, it's just ridiculous, man. You start talking all the leaders, and you're not qualifying, and all this kind of nonsense and this rhetoric, trying to berate and talk down to the reporters because they're exposing the fact that they got fractures in the locker room. It's nonsense, man. That's how you know a guy needs to get the hell out of here or get a job to somebody else, when you start seeing stuff like this. But this year, there is no running and hiding. There's no more running and hiding, man. You either win, or that's it. Now, will they get rid of Mickey? They never get rid of Mickey Loomis, because for that to happen, it takes somebody at the top with vision to make a change and say, you know what? Thank you for your services. We're going to go in a different direction. That's never going to happen, because she is not going to do that. And Dennis Lauscher is not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to rock. These are not rock the boat people. They're not going to rock the boat. They're not going to do anything spectacular to put the team on the next level. They're going to kind of feel that slow ramp, because that's what's about to happen in 2 or 3 years. The Saints going to basically reset. We have been running away from it for a while, but eventually the Saints are going to have to reset. And I think it'll happen in the next 2 to 3 years, when all these other guys that's carrying the team, they get too old, and the Saints still don't have people to replace a Demario Davis or a Tyrann Mathieu or or Cam Jordan. I mean, isn't that a little bit amazing? I mean, we had years. You'd be so fortunate to have that. We had Drew Brees for years and didn't even have a clear backup for him. Am I lying? We go to journeyman quarterbacks and all this kind of stuff. Sean Payton did something that he never did with Denver. He drafted a rookie quarterback to be his quarterback after getting rid of Russell Wilson. He never did that. Not here. None of these guys that actually was worth a damn. All right, so anyway, that'll be enough, man. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate you guys for being in the stream, but I think this is the truth telling year. I think we're going to actually get some wins here, man. I think we'll actually get some wins, and we'll figure out what kind of team we got very fast. It's not going to be one of them long, drawn out situations. You're going to see it real fast, because the first 5-6 games is must-win games. Anyway, I'm going to get out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Man, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Y'all feel free to become a member of the show, the Patreon. All them, the links is in the description section. Merch and all that stuff is also in the description section below. If you want to help us out, just hit up the Linktree. All that information is there. And look, I'm going to pop up tomorrow on the Patreon. On the Pelican Post Game Report, PPR in the morning for my Pelican people. And then I'm going to see y'all later on the Sports Coma later on in the maybe Monday or something like that. Yeah, definitely a Monday stream coming. So listen, y'all have a good night, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Much love. Who that take?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat Daily.